On guys, welcome to the live Q&A where I answer all of your Pokemon cards related questions, and we're going to jump right into the news. So check it out. If you guys did not know, there was a card that accidentally slipped into a Darkness Ablaze booster pack, and it was supposed to be for the 25th anniversary of Pokemon. So you can check it out. This is that exact card right here. We got Chimchar, and if you take a look here on the bottom corner right down here on the right side, you could see that Pikachu, it looks like the 20th anniversary one, but if you check it out, there's a 5 at the end of there. So it's a 25th anniversary, number 12 out of 25. And this is apparently going to be a McDonald's promo set. So the Holo Chimchar promo has been pulled out of the rare slot of a Darkness Ablaze booster pack. The Chimchar has a McDonald's set symbol and holo foil pattern. The copyright date is 2021. It's card number 12 of 25, which means there should be a 25 card set for McDonald's for next year. And if you guys know, the 25th anniversary for Pokemon should be absolutely insane. I mean, it's going to be like when they did the 20th anniversary, there are so many exclusive things that were released, limited type of thing. So the 25th anniversary is probably going to be really awesome. And it looks like it's going to go by the starters. So like number 1 would be Bulbasaur, 2 Chikorita, like they have them all on order here, and of course it's on pokebeach.com for the information. The people that pulled it were, I believe, Eric, Jeffrey, and Jeremy, and they reported over to PokeBeach. So some really awesome information. Of course, Pikachu number 25 to top it off. It's gonna be awesome, guys. Are you excited for the 25th anniversary or what? This Chimchar is a little sneak preview. And could you imagine if any of you guys were able to pull a card like this out of a Darkness Ablaze pack? That would be probably the most insane luck ever. Some other news. Charizard artwork coming in here. I'll show you guys this one from Shocking Volt Tackle. The set's going to be coming out on September 18th. And check it out. Here's the artwork. Let me know what you think of that Charizard artwork on there. So some of these are dropping again. This is another set. If you guys weren't aware, there's a bunch of sets releasing for the rest of this year. Of course, the Shocking Volt Tackle, that's coming out in September in Japan. I think we're getting that one in November. We got Champion's Path coming up in September in English. We have Darkness Ablaze just dropped very recently, about a week or two ago. So, I mean, we got a lot. And then here's some of the other artworks you expect to be in that particular set. And then one other big bit of news for the week that I thought was really awesome. Guys, check this out. There are Pokemon TCG raid battles that go on, and basically it's a game that you can download. But if you go to specific card shops or stores that do this, basically you could fight bosses in the actual game, and you'll get physical rewards like these cards here. So Pikachu VMAX being one of them, and then these are the jumbo size versions of them as well. And then like the league cards there. So pretty awesome. You could actually do this. The official events will receive physical printouts of the Pokemon TCG raid battle cards. As an activity, players will be able to work together at stores to beat the game's raid bosses and win real promo cards. So these are some of the promos that you can get. Again, this is like the kit, the raid battle kit. So I don't know if you need a certain amount of people to do these raids, I would assume. And then, you all beat them together. I never played the game, but let me know if you guys have played it before. You can download it. I think it's free. And once they have things going back on again in the world a little bit more with this type of stuff and tournaments, we'll be able to jump into this. And it's kind of reminiscent of the Pokemon Rumble set. It's a little bit different because you had to purchase this one separately. These ones are given out as prizes. But yeah, guys, that is the news for this week so far. I hope everybody's having a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are. We got Tom in the house. Slushy Boy is here. James, what's going on? We got Ryan. We got Jay's Pokestop. Thank you so much for jumping into this, guys. If you don't know, really quickly here, we got Mike's Vlog TV in the house. What's going on? Thank you so much again for being here for that giveaway that you offered everybody. Craig, what's going on? So, guys, if you don't know, this is the live Q&A where you guys can stop in. You can hang out the whole time if you want, whatever you want to do. Go down to the description down below. Click, I think it's the first or second link there. Click that link. It'll bring you over to a form where you guys can ask all of your questions, whether it's related to collecting Pokemon cards, buying, selling, investing, the market, grading, whatever. Or if you just want to show off some really cool cards, whatever you guys want to throw in there, go ahead and throw it in to that live form. And I'll jump into it. I'm going to answer them in the order that I receive them. So let's jump into the first question for the day here. we have a question from Masenko. My son, what's going on? This is a grading question. The goal is to trade or sell my Charizards to obtain a first edition Charizard. I like that goal. I love that goal. So the question is, hey Dad, these are my three of my many Charizards I own. What grade do you see them getting at PSA, or should I trade and sell the raw and move towards a first edition? Thanks, Pops. All right, so let's jump into it and see what you have here. To start it off, all right, so to start it off, we got some nice Charizards here. So the first one is going to be, I'll show you, pull this up on the screen here. Check it out. We got a Shadowless Charizard. This is the OG artwork with the Shadowless template. So you see on the side there, it's Shadowless because there's no shadow there. That's one of the main factors to determine if a card is Shadowless or not, and that's only going to be in reference to base set, right? So Charizard on the front there, and what we're doing here is we're looking to see what we think this card may grade at PSA. So basically, the first thing that we want to look at is the centering. Now, as you can tell, the top to bottom here, if you look at that top part on there, is a lot thinner than the bottom. That's a lot thicker. So that's one of the things you want to look for when you're grading. If we look to the left to right, it's a lot more even. It's a lot closer. It's not perfect left to right, but it's very close. So left to right is looking really good there. Now the top to bottom is the concern here, right? So this centering would not be able to get that PSA 10 based off of the centering alone. So take the 10 out of the question just based off the centering. Now we're down to probably an 8 to a 9 on the centering. It might even be a little bit too off for a 9. So we might be looking at an 8 just on the centering. Now if we zoom in to here, we can check out the scratches, right? So we have scratches on the hollow pattern. And thank you, Masenko, for these high quality photos. Again, guys, if you are throwing in photos, try to make them high quality so I can help you guys out the best that I can. And everyone else that is here as well. If you guys don't know, there's a live chat down below. You can click the little button. It says live chat. It's next to that subscribe and like button. Wink, wink. Click those two. If you look at this card, the scratching here, there's a bunch of scratching. So this scratching alone is probably going to take it down to like an 8, a 7, or an 8. So I'm saying just based off the front is looking like a 7 to an 8. Now what we want to do is we want to look at the back of the card. Hopefully there's back photos. I think there were. Here's another side view. Sometimes you can't see all the flaws, which we didn't see. There's a little mark there, a little bit of edge wear as well. And then we're going to look on the back. So here's the back, right? You could tell that this card has definitely been played. Possibly even heavy play here based off of all the whitening on the back, around the corners, the edges. I mean, you guys can see this is obvious signs of wear and tear. Now, there is even possibly bends here. So once you start getting into bends and creases, then you're down to at least a 6. So the back's going to bring it down even further because of all the whitening. So you might be in probably, I'm going to put you right around a 4, maybe probably about a 4. That's what I would estimate on this card. The back's really going to take it down quite a bit, and then that crease brings it down. Maybe a 5, 4 to a 5. So you want to essentially sell or trade these cards off for a first edition, I'm assuming base set Charizard, Masenko. So what we could do now is if you're looking at what the value is going to be on some of this stuff, the first thing we could do is go to eBay, and we could type in and see what a 4 is going for. So PSA 4 Charizard. And we're going to do Shadowless. We're going to take out first edition. We put a minus sign in front of the first, so that way we don't get any first edition results on here. And then we go to this. It looks like there's one up on auction right now with 2 days left at $255. There's one at $450 buy it now price. So I'm assuming it's probably going to be in the $300 to $400 range. $550 best offer undersold. Those are the wrong grades. PSA 2. So sometimes what's interesting is you'll get grades that are actually lower, a lower grade that goes for a higher price once you get into the lower end of PSA 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, because there are collectors that specifically will look for like a 1 or a 2 or a 3. Some people want to complete a whole collection. And the thing is, when you get into these low grades, they're actually hard to find certain grades. Believe it or not, like a 2 and a 1 could actually be more difficult to find than a 4 or 5. It's just based off of what the card's grade. So just as a ballpark, you're probably in like the $400 range, maybe $300 around there for a 4, probably around the $350-ish or so. So on that card. And when you grade a card, essentially, you know, the one thing that you have to think about here is that when we're grading cards, especially if you're talking about PSA, you got to make sure that you're okay waiting. Because right now, what you could do is you could sell the cards raw, and then you could get into a first edition base set Charizard sooner. Because what you're going to have to do is go ahead through the grading process, which could take at least, I'm going to say they're probably going at least 6 months, 5-6 months or so for submissions to PSA, depending on which you go with, which turnaround time you go with. But if we're talking like 5 months, that's 5 months of waiting, where that first edition base set Charizard could have gone up even more, substantially higher in that time frame. Although your graded cards could very well move up as well, but the first edition base set Charizard is always the top of the top there, so that's probably moving at a quicker rate. It's outpacing a lot of stuff. So, you do have Charizard, and then some of the other cards that you do have on here are actually pretty awesome. So if you take a look here, I'll throw these up on the screen for you guys in 1 second. We also have let me throw this up here. We got some more Charizards. We have, so check it out, Legendary Collection. If you guys know, this is a reverse holo card from Legendary Collection. The set was released back in the Wizards of the Coast days. So you can see on the front here, this whole card has like this fireworks pattern to it. And we take a look here. You want to look at the same thing, scratches. So this one you can see there's definitely scratches. And again, thank you for the high quality photos here, because we can see this stuff. So you're looking at scratches all around here on the front. Now the centering is better on this one than the Shadowless Charizard. So that's lining up pretty nice on the front. There's another side view so we can see some more angles of the card. And then you can also check out the back. Most of the times, I'm going to say overall, it's worth grading your cards, especially Charizards. It just helps with the value. It helps everyone know exactly what the card is worth in that specific grade. And it's a lot easier to sell it as well, because you don't have picky people that might say, oh, I didn't see that there was this spec over here. You didn't tell me about this spec, Misenko. Right here, this white speck. I'm going to return that card now. You didn't tell me about this little spot right here. I don't like it. So that's the one thing. It takes out that whole like buyer to seller thing where you know what they're getting. They know the grade. They know the condition of the card overall. But I'd probably would grade them. It kind of sucks about the PSA turnaround times. But hopefully I helped you answer that question a bit. There's no one specific way to go. I tend to lean towards grading the cards, especially the Charizards. And they do definitely have value out of there as well. And then, of course, you do have a, where's my mouse at? Here we go. We have a base set Unlimited Charizard as well. Another card that I would definitely grade up. So I'd lean towards the grading. But yeah, you can do whatever you want. That's the thing, right? You can do whatever you want. It's just my personal opinion on that. But hopefully everybody's having a good time in the chat. If you guys didn't know, we are hanging out in the PokeCave here doing live Q&As. Let's keep the spam to a minimum in the chat and everything like that. I appreciate you all being here and hanging out and having a good time. Marshall, what's going on? David, CP Cool's trading card games, what's going on? Good to see you here. And yeah, everybody else that's hanging out here, having a good time. I hope you all are well and enjoying your Saturday. So we're going to jump into the next question here. We have coming up, it's going to be from... we got Taylor. What's going on, Taylor? It's a grading question as well. In the form, you could pick whether your question's related to collecting. You want to, figure out what you want to collect, how to collect, everything in between, the market conditions, what's going on with the market. Is this worth this? Why is this worth that? Is this overvalued, undervalued? Things like that. Then there's another section on there for buying and selling. If you're looking to buy a certain card, how to find it, what do you think it's going for? If you're looking to sell cards, how to go about selling them. Another category is the grading category, which we have on this question. And then there's another category if you just want to throw in cool stories about maybe some cool pickups, cool finds, things that you have in your collection, things just overall, just cool things that to talk about. That's what it is, guys. You make this whole thing. You guys dictate the whole conversation here from the questions that you guys throw into the form down below. And we keep little caffeine keeps us going here for this. All right, so again, Taylor, thank you for the question. The goal is just to see if these pulls are worth sending to get graded. I've asked a few people and they're liking what I've pulled. The question is, I've got these pulls from yesterday from an Evolutions X and Y box. First time opening since I was a kid. Wow. Round of applause, guys. Everybody say congrats to Taylor for opening up their first packs or booster box since a kid. I mean, I can't imagine the excitement there. It's really awesome to see people jumping back in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these up on the screen here and we can take a look together. But overall, Evolutions, there's definitely cards that are worth grading for sure. I think Evolutions for Modern has some of the best type of value to sealed product because with Evolutions has such a huge hit print quantity out there. But the thing is, there's Charizards in it. There's really awesome OG artworks, and it really has good value in there. Like this Charizard alone that you're looking to possibly grade here, you have other Charizards that you pulled as well. We got the Mega Charizard full art. I mean, look at this. I don't know if this all came from one single booster box. I think from an Evolutions X and Y box. Yeah, so you're saying here that it all came from an X and Y booster box, one booster box, which, I mean, you're seeing all the cards that we're pulling up here. Let me just pull out some of these other ones. You got Slowbro or Slowpoke here. So Ninetales. Okay, so these like the first 4 that you sent are definitely going to be the most likely the ones worth grading if you're looking at value. So this Charizard alone, if it were to get a 10, I think the card's going for over $1,500. Now, this is a pretty difficult card to grade. And one other thing that you do have to look for, since you did say you're new to jumping back into Pokemon, is the backs of the cards. That's one of the main things that we look at to determine grading. But just based off of this, Pack Fresh, Charizards, Evolutions, I mean, that all goes hand in hand together. I would definitely send this in. Even if it gets a 9, I think 9s are still going for about $75 or more for a Charizard from Evolutions. The centering looks really good on it. Of course, you always want to check the hollow pattern as well to make sure there's no print lines or scratching. It's tough to see from one single photo, but you know, there could or could not be maybe print lines on here. But definitely that one, definitely the Mega Charizard, I would send that one in. I'd even send this one in as well, the regular Mega Charizard EX, and the Blastoise possibly, depending. But all you do is go on eBay really and just type in, you're most likely going to get between an 8 to a 10 on all of these cards that you pull Pack Fresh from, you know, sealed product. So just look at the prices on these and determine if it's worth it to you, if you want to add it to your collection, if you'd like to add it, or if you'd like to sell it and use that money to buy different Pokemon products for your collection, and just weigh out that a bulk submission to PSA is about $9 a card. You have to factor in insurance, shipping, selling fees, and all that stuff. And then you come to it, and you know, really with these cards, it's definitely worth it, because even if you get an 8, a 9, or a 10, it's the value is still going to be there. So definitely would send those out to get graded for sure. Congrats on your hits there, and jumping back into Pokemon. But let's move on to the next question. Let's see what we got coming up here. All right, so we have. Let me check out the chat really quickly, make sure everybody's having a good time. I always like to jump in there. And so, all right, next question is going to be from Brandon. We have another grading question. Hey, Rev, I was wondering what you think these will grade, and if we should grade them at all. So let's see. You never know what to expect. Sometimes you get cards on here that are OG, like Wizards of the Coast era. Sometimes we get cards on here that are modern. Sometimes you get cards that are just in between. So let's see what we got on here. And we're going to pull this up onto the screen so we can check it out. Okay, we have a Charizard. Got a Charizard GX. 2017. I believe that is... I forget what set that one's from. Is that... Burning Shadows? Can't remember off the top of my head. Then we got a bead here as well. Rainbow Rare. Sword and Shield era. So check it out. On here, basically with these cards, again, you just look at the centering. If it's Pack Fresh, you're probably looking in the 9 to 10 range. Something like this, the same thing. The backs on Sword and Shield cards, the quality on them is very, very good. If you guys didn't know, for the most part, from what I've seen, the Sword and Shield era, they really dialed it in. I mean, the back is like beautifully centered. There's not really any whitening on a lot of these. Like, I don't see any whitening on here whatsoever. So back's looking 10 quality for sure. Front is looking 10 quality for sure. So a safe 9 and a possible 10 on that one. Definitely worth it. And this is another card here. We got a Charizard. It's Burning Shadows, right? I don't know why I'm having a brain fart right now on this set. But yeah, Charizard GX, front and back here. We'll take a look at close up here. And then we could, you could type the card in on eBay as well. So that's a lot of things that on your guys' end, if you think a card is looking like a 9 or a 10, all you have to do is basically go on eBay. We'll pull up eBay again, and we'll just go up here, and we'll just put in Charizard GX PSA 10. Burning Shadows. Yeah, Burning Shadows. Okay. And see, like even this one has a day left, and it's already at $78 for a regular GX. For a regular GX Charizard. And sold 140 or best offer. So out of 10, 100% worth it. And when I say worth it, it's just, is it worth the price to pay the grading fees, to pay the insurance, to have it out for 6 months? And then if you're looking to sell it after the fees, or if you're looking to keep it for your collection, you know, is it better off just buying the card outright and taking the risk or what? But see, even at a 9, we're looking at $31 plus $4. So about $35 for the 9 alone. And we know after the grading fees and all that, it's still worth it. So that, because that card should be at least a 9. So definitely would be worth it, in my opinion, to grade those up as well. Let's move on to the next question here and see what we have on the form. Again, guys, the form is right down below in the description. Jump in there, throw your question in, and I will get to as many as I can. I get to them in order that I receive them. All right, let's see what the next one is. Next question we have is from PokeRev Fan. Hey, welcome, PokeRev Fan. This is a buying and selling question. And the goal is to become the best trainer in the city. Is it in Viridian City, though? Which city? Cinnabar Island? Where are you at? Where are you trying to dominate here? The question is, would you invest in the PSA 9 Evolutions Holo Charizard now? There are over 3,500 plus in a PSA 9. Do you think the price of the PSA 9 will increase? I'm planning to hold them for at least 5 years. So that's a good mentality and a good way to look at it. When you're looking at investing and stuff, always look at least 5 years, like you said. Because 5 years gives you plenty of time for that to, you know, change over time. So it's a tricky question. When we get into graded cards specifically, I'm really hesitant to kind of tell people to invest in a graded card, especially a modern type of card. I lean more towards the sealed product, as you guys probably already know by now. I've already explained this probably in most of these Saturday morning lives, where, you know, sealed product is always decreasing in quantity that exists, right? It's always because product's always getting opened up, so it always decreases. And while we have the demand is continuously rising, staying the same, or, you know, maybe you go in a tiny bit down over time, but with the supply going down, it really has a big effect on that. But when we look at graded cards, like you said, there's over 3,500. Now, the thing obviously that has going for it is it's like the more affordable modern day base set Charizard, which, you know, you got to think about it like this. Charizard is such a huge card, and that artwork alone is so huge that carries it a lot. That really carries it. So what we're looking at here is, I'll even go on eBay and I'll go to PSA 9 Evolutions Charizard. Let me switch the screen over so you guys can see. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out staff cards, and I'm going to take out, I think I'll just take out staff and pre-release. So that way those don't come in the results. We're just looking at 9s. All right, so basically here, let's see what they're... I mean, last time I checked, they were going for about 75 each. I wouldn't be surprised they are going for more now. One sold for 160, another one 100... Oh, that's a reverse. 160. Wow, okay, I was off when the last person that asked that question on the Evolutions Charizard, the last time I checked those, they were going for about $75 a couple weeks ago. I mean, if you purchased them a couple weeks ago at least, definitely worth it now. Especially if you bought them, you know, a year ago, 6 months ago. $100 for that one. So $100, probably between $100 to $150 now, it looks like these are going for. Let me go to what's listed. Let me go to what's listed here. Let me go to lowest price first. We have the lowest priced one that you can buy right now on eBay. So you can't even get one for under $100. This one's at $98. It's on auction. I'll throw that on the watch list, see what that ends at in 4 days. It's at $98. So if you want to buy one, buy it now. You got to, that one's at $107 on auction. That's a reverse. So I can't even find one under $125. Wow. So this one was just listed, $164 best offer. That's the cheapest one you could buy right this second if you wanted the card, was to put an offer in at $100. I did not realize that. So I want to look a little further here. I want to see when this spike happened. So Pokemon Price is my go-to. We're going to go to Pokemon Price. I'm going to go to Sets. And I'm going to go to Evolutions. And we're going to see in real time right now what is happening with Evolutions Charizards. You got to be careful right now too. There's a lot of people getting in. There's a lot of investors. Keep that in mind, guys. So really, prices. We're waiting for the prices to kind of like flatline a little bit and then maybe retrace a little bit. 20-25%. With modern, I expect it to be more of a retrace. So we got the Charizard Hollow, and I believe it looks like the last one in a 10 actually might have sold for $2,000 just 10 days ago. $2,000 for a 10. Right before that, 1,800. So the 10s are going for about 2,000. Again, guys, this is a set where I always bring this set up, Evolutions, because it's, like I said, you can literally buy booster boxes. But they're going up too, though, slowly. I remember I was saying they're about 115 before. I think now you can't really get them for under like 130 a box because of the value, right? $130 for a box with a really, really, really good chance of pulling Charizards with an S at the end, with multiple Charizards out of the box because there's so many different versions of it in there. But if we take out the 10s, we take out the 8s, 7s, 6. We just want to see 9s. All right, so yeah, you can see, I mean, over, I think I could zoom in too. I know there's a way to zoom in. I can't figure it out. I think there's, but anyway, so we can see here July. Beginning of July, they were like coming up to 100, 180, moving into 150-ish, moving into August. 180. So yeah, really, they like you can see that chart right here. If you guys can, I can't really zoom in. Can I? Oh, I can. Okay. So if I zoom in, my face is in the way. But here, I'll zoom in that much. You guys can see right here. I mean, this is where this growth is, right? We're going from like down here in the beginning of the year to about $30 a card. Right? That's like the whole life cycle of this thing ever since it was released back in 2000 and what was it? 17, 16, 2000. I think beginning of 2017, right? $40, $30, $50 most, and then all of a sudden here this year it's just been going up and up and up and up, right there. So they're really going for like 150 or more at this point. So that's interesting. And then when it comes down to like, should you invest in it? Just expect that there's going to be more and more of these coming up on the market because there's so much sealed product, but there is a high demand. So I can't say yes or no. It's really going to be your choice. At the end of the day, it's the risk it for the biscuit mentality. If you want to take the risk, jump in, do your thing. You can make an educated guess on it and just give it a shot. Am I personally doing it? No, I'm not speculating on a lot of the modern PSA graded cards. The sealed product, yeah, I definitely pick up here and there. But the graded cards are definitely a lot more difficult to figure out what's going to happen. Nobody knows. All you can do is take a guess and go with your gut on it. All right. Hopefully everybody's having a good time in the chat. I definitely like to take my time with the questions, so I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out here. I get to as many as I can, but I really like to go in depth on a lot of questions. I feel like if I can give you guys the most value that I can, I'm going to do that for you guys. So hopefully you're enjoying it. All right, let's move on to the next question, though. Thomas S. This is a buying and selling question. The goal is to have fun with Pokemon cards and to collect as much as possible. Dude, cheers to that, right? Like, that's what it's all about, is having fun. If you're not having fun, you're doing something very, very wrong. The question we have here is, hey, PokeRev, I wanted to sell some of my cards, but I do not know what the best site is to sell. Do you know how trustworthy eBay is and how to avoid getting scammed? Thanks. Yeah, so I hear this question somewhat often, is that you have a collection, you'd like to sell some cards, or you want to jump into getting and selling cards, right? The first step I would do is, if you don't have an eBay account, create an eBay account. Go on eBay, create your account. The next thing I would do is I would just start purchasing things and getting feedback. You can even do simple things. I remember way, way back, I mean, I think I set up my eBay maybe almost a decade ago, I'm going to say, maybe 8 years ago. One of the first things I did was I would, buy and sell really cheap things. That way, if you did get scammed, it's not that big of a deal. If you lose a $5 item, you'll be all right. But the other thing you can do is buy cheap items to get feedback, right? Because you want to build up that feedback at least a bit. So you can buy really cheap things on eBay, like stamps. You can buy like cheap stamps for like I think some people sell stamps for like $1 on eBay, free shipping. They send it in an envelope. And you can literally buy like 20 stamps, spend like $20 or whatever, like the cheapest thing you can get on eBay. And you can just say, hey, like, thank you so much. if you could give me a positive feedback, I'm trying to build up my feedback on eBay. I'd appreciate it. I'll do the same for you when I get the item. Then you build up that feedback really quickly, and you just want to make sure that eBay sees you as a trusted person. And that way, if anything does happen down the line, eBay will be more likely to side with you in a dispute. So I would do that. Get the feedback going however you want. You can sell cheap items, buy cheap items, or do both. Build up some feedback. And then from there, you can start listing your items for sale through eBay. Now, if you don't want to do it yourself, there's other options. You can go to auction houses. You can send them to PWCC, which, by the way, guys, if you're excited, give me a hashtag yes, because the PWCC auctions are coming up soon. Probably, I think, this week. I think at the end of this week or something. I'm not sure the exact day, but that's when we do the live PWCC streams. So that's going to be a ton of fun. I saw a lot of really cool stuff on there. So we're going to watch those. If you don't know, we watch all the PWCC auctions end, and we react to the prices live at the same time together. It's a ton of fun. It's usually late at night, so it's usually awesome. But yeah, look out for that. I'll make a post when that's coming up. But you do PWCC, send your items to them and let them do all of this stuff. So you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about getting scammed, things like that. There's a higher fee associated with that, but you know, there's a lot of positives associated with it as well. Besides that, you could do local stuff, you know, Facebook. I don't even know if people still use Craigslist and that other site. I forget the name. It starts with an M. I don't really do much local stuff anymore, but you could do that. But other than that, yeah, eBay's probably your best bet for the biggest market. The biggest, you know, there's also Facebook groups you can jump in on as well. But yeah, hopefully it helps you out a bit. Let's move on to the next question. All right, so Matthew H., this is a grading question. The goal is to have a collection that I enjoy, including as many Squirtle cards as I can find. That's awesome. Good luck on that collection goal. The question is, hey Rev, I pre-ordered the Champions Path ETBs and was wondering, do I keep the Charizard promo card in the original wrapping when I send it to get graded? So that's a good question. You can do that. You can send a lot of cards sealed in the original wrapping. So one of the things you can do is, if you look at the card, and if you're just trying to get the most value out of it, if you look at the card in the wrap and it looks like it's not centered good, or it has a print line, or it has a scratch, or it has whitening, and you're like, you know what, this isn't going to be a 10. Maybe send it in, because I believe when you send in sealed stuff in the actual wrap, they're going to look at it and they're just going to grade it based off of how the seal is on that wrap, not necessarily the card inside. So maybe do it that way. If you think it's going to be a 10, maybe take it out of the wrap and send it in as, you know, a card hoping you get a 10. That's what I would do. If you guys don't know, the Champions Path ETBs coming out has that full art Charizard in there. It's going to be an awesome set coming out in September. I cannot wait for that. So let's go. Let's see what the next question is going to be. Let's see what the next question is up on the forum. Again, guys, the forum is down below in the description. So there's not a ton of questions right now. I should be able to get to most of these. I think we've got... Yeah, we got a decent amount. I'm going to get to as many as I can, though. All right, so next question. Caden, what's going on? This is a grading question. The goal is to complete a master set of Darkness Ablaze. Nice. I like that goal. The question is, hey, I opened my Darkness Ablaze booster box and I pulled a bunch of print errors, and I was wondering if it would be good to send them to PSA or if they would give it a bad grade because of the ink. Also, I have these EXs that are corner cut and was wondering what you think the grades might get. Oh, that's cool. So let's check it out. So some cards that you pulled out have an ink. Oh, wow. Okay, I think I've heard of this. I'm going to show you guys this in 1 second. This is pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen this before, check out the screen. Here we go. So check it out. These have an ink error to them, right? So check it out. Like if you see right here, they're like smeared. I think I've seen these before on Darkness Ablaze cards. There's like ink all smeared on there. It looks like a roller. It went through the roller maybe, and the roller had like ink on it or something. So you can see it's right there on the same spot on all the cards. So I don't think PSA will grade these. And if they do, they won't deem it a factory error. Your best bet is to go with that new grading company. And CGC, I think, is the name of them. I don't know why I can't think of the name of them off the top of my head. But the new grading company, they grade a lot of that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. But probably not for PSA. For something like this, I would probably send over to that new grading company. And then we have these cards, which have a cut to them. And the same thing with these. PSA really doesn't do much with like factory type of errors like that. Your best bet is probably that new grading company for this kind of stuff, which is cool. I mean, it's a good reason to use them. But yeah, guys, again, the errors, if you didn't see them, all down here. Ink smeared all across them. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's move on to the next question, though. All right, so let's see what the next question is going to be. Pulling it up right now. I think there's a link. Okay. Lightning Zard. This is a collecting question. The goal is to invest and gain a profit. The question is, would you invest in this Pokemon 2DS, and do you think I can make a profit off of it? Thanks. All right, so looks like you put a link up here. Let's check it out. So Pokemon 2DS, this is the, it has yellow version pre-installed on it. It's the 2DS, that bigger version of it that was, cheaper for Pokemon to make, or Nintendo to make. It plays 2DS. This is the... This is the version, and not NTSC. I believe it's the, I forget what you call it, PAL version, I guess, of it. I'm assuming it is. So, you know what? It's tough to say. It really depends on what you want to do. I mean, you can hang on to it. I think it's a really cool collection piece, honestly. Right now, it's up for 1,000. Pokemon, let me see what I can search on this. Pokemon 2DS Pikachu. Pokemon 2DS. Let me go to ebay.com. We go 2DS Pikachu sealed. Let me try that. Let me go to, okay, so here we go. So here's that exact one for $700 US. And then we can go to sold and see what they've sold for. I mean, it's really another, you can't really predict what this kind of stuff is going to go for. At the end of the day, it's a risk you take on it. And you just kind of hold on to it and see what happens. But I've never looked at this particularly, so I don't know what the market is on these. I don't know what these have sold for in the past. But, it's a gamble, right? It's a gamble. I think it's a cool piece to add to the collection, though, either way. So best of luck with whatever you decide on that. Sorry I don't have an exact answer for you on that one. But at the end of the day, it's like the risk it mentality on that kind of stuff. Let's see what the next question is. We got Jacob. This is a grading question, and the goal is, hopefully, I don't even know if I showed you guys on the screen. This is it. If I don't know if I had it on the screen or not. Sometimes I forget to switch my screen over, but this is what we were talking about if I didn't show it. This Pikachu 2DS console with the game pre-installed on it. But anyway, let me go back here. The goal is to collect all level X cards. The question is, I got this Charizard G level X promo card recently, and I want to grade it. Do you think it's worth grading, and what grade do you think it could be? I personally think it could be a 6 or a 7. Also, there's a Zacian V full art that I want to grade as well. There's no whitening on the card or anything else. But I'm not sure the centering is enough for a 10. And last thing, I picked up Garchomp level X for $1, just for the nostalgia. It's not in good condition, but brings back memories. All right, let's check it out. So you got a Charizard level X. Let me pull this up on the screen. Here we go. Charizard level X. Let me switch over here. So that's the Charizard level X. If you guys were wondering, that's the promo version of it. So that card in particular, you had to get this from the tins. Now, this is not the English version. So I'm going to pull that over here. I think it's German. We have the back as well. So let's take a peek at this. So again, you just look at things like centering. So this one's off top to bottom. So it's not within the 10 parameters. So you're down to a 9 on the front. Then you want to zoom in here and see if you see any scratches or anything like that. It's hard to see. The picture is a little bit blurry. So there could be scratches that are kind of like feathered out because of the blurred to it. Then we look at the back there. You definitely have some whitening on the top corner. Got some all around the top there on the other corner. And then it does have a bow to it. So that's one thing you guys might think that it's bent, but it's not actually bent. If it's bowed, they're not going to take any, they're not going to deduct any points from it because there's no physical crease on it that I'm seeing anyway. So if there's no crease, but the card is bowed, you're fine. I've got a lot of cards like that have a bow, and it's the same thing. They just put it in the case, and the bowing is totally fine as long as it doesn't bow so much where to get a crease from a bow, it really would have to bow up a lot. But this card, I think you're on the right track. Probably something like a 7. You're probably right around there. I think you're spot on with that guess for that card. All right. So, and then that Zacian, I'll pull that up for you as well. Let's see if I can find that. Zacian. You just want to know if it has the centering for a 10. Sorry, there's a bunch of photos on here, guys, so give me 1 second. I don't even think I see the Zacian. I don't think you might not have put it on here unless I missed it. But all right, let's move on to the next question here. Hopefully that helped you out a bit. Level X cards are awesome though. All right, so we got Justin M. This is a buying and selling question. The goal is to be the very best like no one ever was. The question is, hey Rev, I was wondering if Darkness Ablaze is really worth trying to buy and sell if I'm new. And if so, is it better to get the ETB or the booster boxes? Also, I asked a question 2 weeks ago and mentioned I'm 20 and you asked which Pokemon I grew up with. And to answer that, I was mostly Diamond and Pearl series, but my favorite game was Emerald. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I got to play through those games at one point. Diamond and Pearl. I've never played through them. But, so Darkness Ablaze, you want to buy and sell. So Darkness Ablaze is kind of tricky, right? Because with Darkness Ablaze, the big hit card, I mean, yeah, there's the Eternatus and all that stuff, but really, like, a lot of people are going for that Charizard. The thing with the Charizard is it's such an easy card to pull that the price, I feel like, is not really going to continuously move up. I mean, it could, but the amount of product that Pokemon is printing and throwing out there is crazy. And especially nowadays with everybody just taking their cards straight out the packs, putting them in a sleeve and taking care of them and sending the PSA and everything like that. It's tough, right? Because exactly, it's like, what are you going to buy and sell? You're going to buy a booster box? You can't really do that because the competition is just fierce for sealed booster boxes. There are companies out there that buy entire warehouses of the newest set, and they get the best of the best of the best price, and their margin is like that. They'll sell it for the slimmest margin, something that where you can't even sell it for what they're selling it for because they get it for so much cheaper than what you're getting it for. It's like your buy price that you're buying those booster boxes for is already way more than what they're even like able to get them for. So like you can't just buy and sell booster boxes for modern product. It doesn't really work like that. The ETBs for Darkness Ablaze, there's just the packs in it. The ETBs look really cool. It has that pinkish, reddish, and blue look on the front and back all around it. But inside of there, you're not getting like a special promo card or anything like that. So the ETBs, it's the same thing. Those are like, they're everywhere. And, you know, if you're buying them, even if you're getting them at distributor level, you can't even really sell them at anything at a profit at all. So really, that's the kind of thing that you're not really going to be able to do for the most part. Now, there's differences when there's a set that releases, like, for example, Champion's Path, where the retail, I'm assuming on the ETBs for Champion's Path, it's going to be, if you could even find them at retail, I'm assuming they're going to be going more than retail on eBay and stuff like that. So that's like the type of opportunity that people probably will have. Is if you get an ETB and you're like, I don't want it, or it's not really for my collection, but I'll sell it. Whatever the market's going for at this time. So you're probably going to be more lucky or better off doing something like with Champion's Path, most likely anyway, from what we're thinking the set's going to be like. But with Darkness Ablaze, the opportunities are pretty limited in that sense, if that makes sense anyway. The only other thing is like taking a gamble and opening up a booster box, but that's basically just a gamble. You're just opening it up in hopes of getting a card that may grade a 10 and maybe will be worth more than the actual booster box overall. That's the only thing you can really do with Darkness Ablaze at this point. There's no sealed product in Darkness Ablaze that's worth more than retail or anything like that, or is limited quantity. When you're talking about modern, you want stuff that's either really limited, quantities that are out there, something that's super, super, super popular that people can't find anywhere, like Hidden Fates or something like that, or just moving back further to stuff that's more limited, more old school stuff, more vintage stuff, Wizards of the Coast EX era and stuff like that, where there are opportunities there. But for Darkness Ablaze, I would probably not get involved with something like that. All right. So let's see what the next question up is. We have Jay got game. The goal is to be the very best. A lot of people want to be the very best today. I like that. Going for it. So, we got no question, just showing off my pulls for the week. Lots of Zards, four to be exact. Thanks for being awesome. Hey, thanks for sharing. Let's check it out. Let's check out your pulls. So you pulled a bunch of Charizards this week. We have nice 2 Charizard VMAXs. I like the Dragon Ball DVDs in the back there. Or games, I should say. Sorry. We got a Charizard Evolutions Reverse. Another nice hit there as well. Congrats on those hits. Thanks for sharing with us. Let's move on to the next question here. And if you guys are having a good time, don't forget to smash the like button. Definitely helps out the channel. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We do these every Saturday morning live. And besides that, we do live openings every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have a live opening tomorrow night. So if you guys want to make sure you don't miss that, hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you get notified when I go live here in the Poke Cave. It's a ton of fun. Let's see what we have coming up next here. We have... All right, we got a big question here. Gaiath, I'm not sure how to say your name. Gaiath has a grading question. The goal is to grade my first set of Pokemon cards. The question is, hello, Rev. I recently returned to collecting Pokemon cards almost 20 years ago was the last time you collected. Thanks to you and other YouTubers. That's awesome to hear. I used to collect cards in Syria back in 2001, and the cost of one booster pack then was $10, much more than in the US. Of course, I lost all my old cards and as I lost interest in the hobby after a while. Totally understandable. Now I return to collecting heavily, and attached are what I think are my most valuable cards. Can you please help me access my cards grades to help decide which ones to send out? Definitely. So I can pull up some of your cards here, and we can see what you have. We can see what you have here. So I'm going to switch over to this screen. We got the Mewtwo GX Secret Rare from Shining Legends. That's an awesome card. 100% grade that card. If you're looking for, and it depends, because some people ask the question, should I grade it? And they're referring to, should I grade it based off of reselling it and using that money to add more things to the collection? They're talking about other things like, do I just want to add it to my collection? Should I pay the grading fee instead of just buying the card outright? But this is a card definitely worth grading. I mean, you have a shot possibly at a 10. I think this card's going for like $500 or $600 plus. You have the Evolutions Charizard. That's definitely another one that's basically, 100% send this card out. An 8, a 9, a 10 is definitely worth it on that one. We could see what other cards you have here. Evolutions Charizard. I think that's another one. So definitely send that one out. The back looks really good on those. We have... Then you have a reverse Evolutions Charizard. Definitely worth sending that one out as well, no matter the grade. 8, 9, and 10. And then I think you have one more here. Sorry, guys. There's a lot of photos on here. I'm trying to dig through them. Charizard VMAX. Yeah, this one as well. So definitely send all these out. I mean, 8, 9, or 10 is the range of pack fresh cards for the most part for modern. More on like the 9 to 10 range for a lot of these cards that I'm seeing here. So definitely worth sending them out. And welcome back to Pokemon. Welcome back to collecting. Hope you're having a fun. And hope, what did I just say? Hope you're having fun. I'm already getting streamer brain kicking in. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. I just want to double check the chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. I think I did miss somebody had a super chat. Here we go. Masenko, thanks, Dad. Hey, absolutely. Good luck with whatever you decide to do on those Charizards. Let's move on to the next question here. I'm going to move on to the form, guys, and let's see what we got here. So Marco with the question. It's a collecting question. The question is, I have $1,000 to invest in Pokemon on eBay. What's a good idea? Only Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast, $1,000. Really just depends on what you want to get out of it. I mean, the amount of things you could buy is limited. You can buy sealed booster packs. You can buy graded cards. You can buy loose cards. You can buy binder collections. There's nothing really the best of the best when it comes down to it. It's kind of like a combination of what you're genuinely interested in, as well as something that over time you feel may increase over in value. I mean, that's a lot of people's goals. It's like a combination of collecting and investing at the same time. So I can't really say one one thing. But what I will do is what I'll do now is I'll switch over to something a little bit different. We're going to jump onto eBay. We've done this a couple of times on the Saturday morning Q&As where basically we just jump onto eBay and we just start digging around and seeing what we can find under new listings. I know a lot of you guys do enjoy that. So let's jump into that right now on here. I'm going to pull up eBay, and this will kind of go a little bit with your question. It's kind of an excuse for me to jump on eBay and see what's going on here because I truly enjoy like just browsing eBay and seeing what is listed on there. So what I could do here is, let me pull up the screen. Let me go back here. Okay. So basically like a lot of this stuff is grabbing new listings, right? It's about like being really quick and getting those new listings and the deals that pop up because let's face it, a lot of the really good deals are gone like in an instant. So you got to be quick, right? So I'm waiting for the day that something comes up and somebody here grabs it. But anyway, what you want to do, or what I do normally is I type in Pokemon. I just type in Pokemon on the search. I put it to all categories. I don't limit it to just toys or just, trading collectibles or anything like that. I just do the entire, any category, because you never know, something comes up under the wrong category. The other thing I do is I go to new listings, in order of new listings. And here you'll find, like, this was just listed. Okay, this could be good. I'm going to pull this up right away. 500 or best offer. You're going to see it's already getting views. So you guys can check this out at the same time. I mean, this right here could be a really good deal. If somebody is ready, if somebody's going to snag this in the chat, let me know. 500 or best offer. We got, it's a complete fossil set. All 62 cards in near mint condition. Most in near mint, they say. So, what you want to do is look at the cards. You're going to look at the first page. Who else is looking at this right now? This is a prime example of a possible opportunity. Now, the question is the back, right? The backs of the cards. We can't really see. There's way too much glare. I could try to zoom in a little bit. It's tough. It won't let me zoom in for some reason when I pick up the photo. But this is like one of those things where it's like you risk it for the biscuit. Like literally, if a lot of these cards in 9s, in 10s are worth a good chunk of change. You got the whole set. Now, it is unlimited version, but it's all 62 of them. It's all 62 of them. So 500 best offer. What you can do is you can look at the seller as well. That's one thing I like to do. So the seller, you can see how much they buy and sell things. So it seems like they got a good sense of the market. They got a lot of high-end cards on here. And they also have another one that just popped up is a jungle set in near mint condition. So this entire set here, you want to look for errors, if there's any no symbols or anything like that on here. But yeah, I mean, this could be an opportunity for somebody. And I'm sure if I refresh this page, it probably is going to have even more views because a lot of people look at new listings. This one has 18 views already. So yeah, keep that one in mind. And that's just one example of stuff that comes up. I think that jungle one might have even came up after I pulled that up. Let's see. And then we just refresh the page and we go down the line here and see what stuff, what kind of deals are popping up. And yeah, it all depends on the condition, right? And a lot of you guys are jumping in the chat and talking about it right now. A bit expensive, possibly not near mint. So yeah, it's a gamble, right? It's a gamble. It really depends on 100% on the condition. If there's just one hollow card in there that's a 10, could be an opportunity. And it also depends on what the seller is willing to accept on that lot. So we're going to keep scrolling through here and seeing what else pops up. A Dark Charizard, that one is heavily played. It's the non-hollow. But we keep scrolling through here and we see, and going back again to that near mint set, it all depends on what the actual condition is because there is near mint to one person could be like PSA like 4, 5, 6. Near mint to another person could be like 7, 8, 9, and someone else could be like 8, 9, and 10, right? So it really depends. It 100% depends on the condition of the cards overall. But let's scroll through here and see what else we have that's popping up here. Let's see. We got just some, a lot of random stuff. We got a Neo Genesis booster box. This is unlimited. I pulled up this binder just to peek inside because they left it with just like the actual just binder. I think I had this exact binder as a kid. Team album. um Billy, what's going on? Thanks for joining up. All right, so check it out. We got a binder here. Just look through this really quickly. I mean, there's probably not much in here. It's a 4-page binder or 4-card per page. Nothing really in that one. It was worth a shot. You never know. There could be something in there. But that's the thing that they're hoping for most likely on that. Probably they wanted you to open it up and just like check it out. But there wasn't really much in it. But yeah, there's a Neo Genesis booster box. Mint conditioned, unlimited, 15,000 or best offer. I just thought I'd pull that one up. I don't know the exact pricing on what those are going for now. Let's keep scrolling through here and seeing if anything else is popping up. A lot of Bandai cards graded. You never know what's going to come up here. You never know. So once you start getting lower, we're going back. We're almost at about, what is that, 20 minutes ago. So a lot of stuff, if it did come up, could possibly be gone by now. So I'll do another refresh. You want to do a hard refresh, not a normal refresh on it, to get the newest up-to-date listings. So let me go up here. And we're just scrolling through. You never know. You never know what might come up. Heavy played Charizard from Platinum Arceus. We got that VMAX coming from CGC, the newest grading company here. So that's the regular English version, 9.5. Oh, okay. Okay, so that's how they did it. I was confused for a second. Why is it 9.5? Because I saw all these 10 subgrades. But this is what happens here. This is the same thing with Beckett, if you guys are curious. So, like, even though this has a 10 centering, a 10 surface, and 10 edges, the corners only got a 9. So what happens is on a lot of these, this company, I'm assuming it's the same way then as Beckett. If one of those subgrades is 2 points lower, that means the highest it can go is 1 point higher than the lowest. So therefore it got a 9.5, which is pretty interesting. If that corners was a 9.5, then overall grade would most likely be a 10 on this, I believe. I know with Beckett, that's what it would be. With CGC, I'm not totally sure of the overall grading scale, but I'd assume it probably would get an overall 10 if that corners bumped to a 9.5. So it did get an overall 9.5 because of those corners. But this is the card you got to be careful with, guys. There's going to be a lot of these out there. And I'm actually curious what's going on with the Charizard VMAX cards right now. So let's do Charizard VMAX. Let's get rid of Japanese. Let's get rid of competition. Let's see what's going on with this card right now. All right, so we got 388 results. So there's 388 Charizard VMAX cards listed at the moment in English. That's a lot of cards, considering a lot of them have multiple quantities too. So what we're going to do is go to sold. Let's just see the most recent sold on these. So a loose one, $141, 120, 115, buy it now. 120 best offer, 120 best offer, $100. So looking to be 100 to 175. That one's kind of higher than the rest. So maybe like 100 to 150 for a loose Charizard VMAX in English. Okay, so we look at that, and then we could scroll through here. I want to see if there's any graded ones. Let's see if any graded, because there's so many grading companies now. There's that CGC. Here's a CGC 10 that sold just yesterday. So this one, let's see what happened with this one. I'm curious. This one's a CGC, and it has the gold. Okay, so yeah, if that other one did bump to a 9.5, it would get this pristine 10. And I think CGC probably has some sort of like black label type thing. And if anybody knows that, let me know. CGC, I'll kind of look it up. CGC grading scale Pokemon. All right. Can we see the grading scale? This is the newest company that grades cards. I just want to see what the grading scale is. It's not coming up. Okay. CGC grading scale. Because I'm curious what happens if you get all 10. I'm assuming it's some sort of black label type thing. CGC grading scale cards. Maybe it's the same scale. Oh, here we go. Okay, the CGC grading scale. Pristine 10, the highest grade assigned. The card must have perfect centering and no evidence of any manufacturing or handling defects. A card with all 10 subgrades, sometimes called a quad 10, will be labeled a perfect 10. Okay, so that's what they do. I don't know if the label is a different color or anything like that, but this got a pristine 10 because it has one subgrade lower. Now, they call it a perfect 10 if it has all 10 subgrades as a 10. So keep that in mind. So this one's the pristine 10. It's not the highest of highest grade on the card, but it's the second highest. And this one sold for $800 or best offer. So what you can do is you can copy the item number right here if you guys don't know. Sean Ryan, Toys and Games, what's going on? And everybody else that's joined up here. Greg, good to see you here. Z&G Emporium in the house. What's going on, my friend? Good to see you here as well. We have Chris in the house. James, of course, hanging out here. Blastoise93, what's going on, dude? Thanks for coming here to hang out as well. But so this one sold for $800 or best offer. So what you could do is you could copy the item number right here. Okay. And then what you can do is you can go to watch count. That's one of the websites that you can go to check what price is sold for. eBay is not the most transparent with it, so you have to go to a third-party website to pull it up. I have no idea why, but that's just how they do it. So you click this button here. You want to see the true price on eBay. We pull that up, and we could most likely see, wow, okay, so this sold for $675 for the pristine 10 CGC card. So it's interesting because, again, guys, we saw how many are on the market. We see how good the quality is that these cards come out of packs, yet we have one that sold for $675. I'm just saying be very cautious of this card, that's all. Just be careful because all of these factors are going hand in hand to dictate pricing. You have the card it's not easy per se to pull the card, but it's a lot easier to pull than like a Hidden Fates Charizard, Shiny Charizard, or a Rainbow Rare Burning Shadows. It's like extremely a lot easier. I feel like you probably would get maybe like for every like 4 of these, maybe even more than 4 is one Shiny Charizard GX pull. At least 4, probably more than 4. So keep that in mind. And on top of that, the quality, as you guys know, on Sword and Shield cards is phenomenal. So you have that going for it. So most cards out of a pack are going to be 9 to 10. Okay, that's another thing. So you have all these factors. It is a Charizard, though, so you got to keep that in mind. It is a VMAX. But I'm just saying, be careful. That's all. If you're cool with spending $675 on the pristine 10, go for it. You want to add it to your collection, you don't care either way. But I'm just saying, like, down the line, I just feel like these cards are not going to sustain like huge premiums. But another thing I can do here is I wonder if CGC has a population report. So let me pull up CGC population report. I'm assuming they do. Population report. Search CGC. So what we can do is, how do they label this? I don't know if this is the right way to do this, but I want to see because I'm curious now. I'm going down the rabbit hole, guys. Hopefully you guys are cool with it. Sometimes we just start going on about things. I have no idea how we got here to this exact moment talking about this, but now I'm just curious and I need to know. So, okay. Charizard VMAX. Let's just see Charizard VMAX. I have no idea if I'm on the right spot or not for this. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, I have to make an account probably. So I can't look at that right now. But I can do the PSA population report. So let's see if PSA has some of these go through and what the populations are looking like on this. So we can search Charizard, VMAX. Let's see if anything. No, it's Japanese. There we go. Okay. All right, so this is like a prime example of what I'm talking about. Charizard VMAX. This is the English version. There's been 11 graded in the population report. I hope you guys can see that. There we go. There's been 11 graded. 10 came back a PSA 10. That's what I'm talking about the condition. Okay? 10 of them. And only one came back a 9. So that just goes to show you the ratio of 10s to 9s. I'm sure there's a bajillion of them as well waiting to be graded at PSA because they're so backed up. I'm assuming these ones that were graded were sent in like the Mega Express, like to get it out. So just keep that in mind, okay? Just keep that in mind. That's all. I just want to make sure everybody is aware of all that. But anyway, let's jump back on here to eBay, do one more quick refresh, and then I'll jump back into the Q&A and see what other questions you guys have. Again, guys, if you want to have your questions answered, just go down to the description down below. Click on the, first link, second link, first or second link, and click on that form and send your question in. And we're going to do, I love that Snorlax, the Unbroken Bond Snorlax. And we're just checking really quickly here. We got the Banned Misty card. And we're going to see if anything crazy's been listed. Anything worth jumping on and talking about. These are hard to find, these tins, Typhlosion. See, like, I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. It's like an old school stickers and washable markers thing. I like that kind of stuff. I'm just going to put it on my watch list. But anything else that's worth looking at? So one other thing you can do is you can bump the minimum price up here. So I could bump it to like 500 just to see if anything big has been listed that we didn't see. We saw a lot of that stuff. We got some first edition Charmanders, Squirtles. We got a Blastoise Shadowless and a 9. And then one other thing I do is I can go to sold and I can see the new listings that's sold. So what I can do is go to new. So if you search new, so you can see that how that's highlighted. You can see that it says new listing. So that means that this one was sniped, right? Like that means that the person listed it and it sold really quickly. So like this is, let's see what this is. A bunch of Charizards. Wow. $900. We had the base unlimited Charizard. We got the base set 2 Charizard, legendary collection Charizard. Wow. Evolutions holo and evolutions reverse. What do you guys think of that deal? Wow. Wow. See, that's like a steal. Because the conditions from what I'm seeing on these looks really nice. I mean, really nice as in like, 7, 8, 9 range. But like, you guys already know what the prices are on a lot of Charizards. Even in just, 8 and 9s. So, wow. So that one sold right away. Had a Skyridge pack, 860. Sold right away. Or not right away, actually. Let me see what else sold right away. Let's see. Where are we at here? Okay, there we go. Top Sun Charizard Blueback, PSA 10, sold for $7,000 or best offer. I got a feeling I knew who might have purchased this, actually. I think I might know who bought this. I'm not going to mention anyone's name here. If they're trying to if they want to keep it private. But I think I might know. All right, so that one sold $7,000 or best offer. I could be completely wrong, but what else? So a Shadowless Charizard light play sold for $650, best offer right away. So yeah, interesting. All right, let's jump back into the Q&A, guys. All right, and let me double check the chat. We actually have a super chat from Jeremy S. Hey, PokeRev, I just submitted my first 5 PSA cards, all Evolutions Charizards, and a full art, 1 of each EX and 2 OG artwork holos. That's awesome. Best of luck on the submission. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to get them back, but that's exciting. I mean, just anytime sending cards to PSA, it's always like a ton of fun to wait to get them back. But thank you so much for the super chat and for being here. But yeah, let's go. Let's move on to the next question. Hey, Birdmander. Good morning. What's going on? Thanks for jumping in. Thanks for jumping in. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next question here. If you guys don't know, this is a live Q&A. We're just talking about Pokemon cards, you know, collecting, buying, selling, investing, grading, whatever, just anything Pokemon cards. We're just hanging out and having a good time here, guys. And again, if you are having a good time, don't forget to smash that like button. Let's go. Let's see what we got coming up next here. We got Jake H. This is a collecting question. The goal is to collect all black and white full arts. Ooh, that's awesome. Is this a good investment as well? So, I mean, it comes down to, again, collecting cards in general. It's all speculative. You know, I think the black and white, I do mention black and white a lot. There's been a ton of growth in black and white, especially this entire year. It's the series before the X and Y era. So it's right in that sweet spot of like not being super, super crazy expensive, and not being super, super new. It's like right in that sweet spot before Pokemon Go and everything like that. So I'll show you guys on here on the screen. So this is the black and white era right here. And we've actually opened up one of almost every single one of these booster boxes in the PokeCave here. I think there's maybe only one that we haven't opened up yet. But like we just did the legendary treasures, which was, if you guys saw that, put a hashtag yes in the live chat if you saw the legendary treasures opening the other day. That was crazy. The amount of hits that you get in that set is wild. So that was a ton of fun. Plasma Blast. I mean, all these sets are definitely right in that sweet spot. It's right before X and Y. So I think they definitely have a good future in terms of like collectability and everything like that. But, you know, you can't say for sure. But I like black and white a lot. All right. Eric, buying and selling question. Goal is to have one booster box of each set. That's an awesome goal. The question is, how much is a Diamond and Pearl Legends Awakened booster box worth? So that's something I don't know offhand, but the good thing is we could check it out here. All we want to do really is go to Legends Awakened. And then we want to do is, I'm going to switch it over here. So we got Legends Awakened boxes. There's one listed at 5,000 right now. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's the market value, of course. It's just what somebody decided to list it at. 5,000 is that's the only one listed. But when we go to sold, all you can do, you can just go to sold and you can check out. This is basically the best way to go about it. Last one sold July 16th, 3,200 or best offer. So this isn't necessarily going to be the market value either. But what you can do is copy that item number. Again, if you guys don't know, that the eBay item number is right here. Then all you do is go to watchcount.com, paste it in, click here to see the true price. Usually you could see it, sometimes you can't. So 3,200 is possibly what it sold for, but maybe not because it was a best offer. It says the listing was ended, which means you don't know for sure. And I also did see that this seller said to contact them on Instagram in the description, so it could have went privately. Really, the only way to know would be to ask that seller what they sold it for. Chad SK18 on Instagram. But other than that, that's the only thing we can go off of at the moment. Legend Awaken. The other thing you can do is kind of look at the set. It is Diamond and Pearl, so we're going way back to the set right after the EX era. And we're looking at Legends Awakened. And, you know, you can look at the set. It's got a lot of really awesome cards. Deoxys. I mean, go through the set. It's a solid set. I like what Diamond and Pearl did. You have all the level X's. Here's our level X cards in this set. So you can base it off of this as well, but of course you can't dictate it solely off of the cards inside of the box, because once you get back to that old school of a set like Diamond and Pearl, you're really going back to basing it off of just like what is actually available on the market at all. So that's the only one available right now is 5,000. But it's been sitting there for a while. So that's all we can base it off of. That is all we can base it off of at this moment. But let's move on to the next question here. Let's see. All right, so next question is going to be from Cash Thatcham. What's going on? The goal is to participate as much in live openings from the channel as possible. Hey, that's awesome to hear. The question is PSA hard on grading booster packs? Could you look at my pack and guess what grade it could get? So grading booster packs, it's very interesting because it's tough to know exactly what they graded off of. I would say a lot of it has to do with scratching on the actual pack. It's tough. It's really tough. They're not super transparent about the grading process on the packs. They're not. I've seen a lot of packs getting 9s and 10s for the most part, but like on this one, you could see there's light scratching all on here. You could see sometimes you can base it off of like if how centered everything is on the actual pack, because you will get packs that a lot of stuff is shifted. Like on this pack, I mean, it's very common to have this. Not saying it's a bad thing, but like you can see the orange down here actually goes down to the crimp, but I've seen it where it goes above it as well. So you look at the front of that, and then you look on the back here, and it's really just it's kind of like anybody's guess here, but I do see scratches all around it. So, you know, I would say most likely if you were to send this in the PSA, a 9 or a 10, I really don't see packs coming back as 8s very often at all. And lower than an 8, never. I don't think I've ever seen a pack graded less than an 8. 8 is like very, very, very rare. So I'd assume it's probably like on a 9 to 10 for something like this. Most likely. The grading scale is kind of iffy for graded packs, though. Okay, so we got a question from Dallas. What's going on, Dallas? This is a grading question. The goal is to get a shadowless set of Pokemon cards. Nice goal. The question is, I sent in 50 cards to PSA, and they sent me this picture and denied my package. What is going to happen next? How can I avoid this? My cards appear to be stolen. Oh, no. Ooh. Dude, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to show this on the screen. You got a picture of what they sent you. Oh, no. I am so sorry to hear that. Dallas, dude, I'm so sorry to hear that. So, somebody busted into your package, whether it was in transit, whether it was, you know, wherever this happened. It looks like somebody... Now, there's the slight chance that it busted open and they fell out. That is very possible. I mean, it could have been stolen though, that's the part that sucks. So there's the ways that I would say to try to avoid this happening is going to be, number one, tape the entire box. Gembit Pokemon, if you know Gembit Pokemon, search how to submit cards to PSA, and his video is really good. But one of the main things is obviously put your cards into, well, maybe not obviously because a lot of people probably don't know it, but put your cards into like a Ziploc bag or like a poly bag that you can actually close completely so it protects it against water, things like that. But one of the other big things that's I do to all my submissions and a lot of boxes that I send out that are high value is tape the entire box. So you see how this is busted open on the side? This can definitely be avoided if you literally tape every square inch of that box. That's going to protect it from water. That's going to protect it from getting busted open like that, unless it was intentionally busted open. But see, here's the thing with this box. I see that it looks like it was crushed. See right here? That looks like it was almost crushed. Because when you send packages, you got to expect the worst. You got to expect that thing's getting thrown 2 stories, like legitimately. At UPS, I've seen where they literally throw them from conveyor belts and they throw them down and they just smack on the ground. I mean, they pile them up. They stack them in tractor trailer trucks, top to bottom. Their thing is they need to fill that entire thing. You can't have any single like square inch of space. So, you know, if that thing is on the bottom of like 50 boxes, you know, it could get crushed that way. I'm not saying it was sent UPS, but, you know, same thing I'm sure with USPS when they fill up their tractor trailers. Things like that. I've had boxes go through like, you know, down below and back, right? Like just everywhere. So one of the things is tape the entire box. That helps a ton. So it's very possible that it fell out. It's very possible that somebody took it out. But the one other thing is to insure the package. So that's another thing that's kind of tough, though, because it's like you're sending raw cards. You can only base it off of what you think the card is worth, and then you got to pay the insurance on it, too. So when you get cards insured through PSA, they're only insuring it on the way back. They're not insuring it on the way there. That's up to you if you want to do that. So that's the other thing you do is insure it on the way there. But if they get a package that doesn't have cards in it or is busted open, it's not covered, unfortunately. I'm really sorry that happened to you, but hopefully this happening to you can help somebody else out down the road, like just by following those steps. Tape the entire box, insure the box on the way there, and hope for the best. That's all you can do, really. But I'm super sorry to hear that happen to you. But all right, after that, we got to move on to the next question. All right. We got a question from Felipe. Got a grading question. The question is, I have a factory sealed Pokemon Crystal. I remember you said you were going to ask that question. I got a Pokemon factory sealed Crystal. I want to know your opinion if it's worth grading and what grade you think it will get. I believe a 9.5. Sorry if the pick is quality is not so good. All right, let's check it out. Let's check it out. Ooh, that is awesome. All right, so you guys can't see it yet, but let me pull up the other couple photos here of this. Now, one thing to keep in mind is video games, when we go back to like video games, especially ones that were in cardboard boxes, are pretty difficult to get high grades with. So I'm going to switch over to here so you guys can see this. We got a factory sealed Pokemon Crystal. It's bittersweet seeing this. I sold mine like 3 years ago. I had a great copy. I don't know why I sold it. It's one of those things where it's like, why'd I sell it? But I sold my copy, but it's awesome to see here. So you got a Pokemon Crystal, and I'm assuming when you say a 9.5, that's the thing. You could be going with, I'm assuming you're talking about WADA, right? So there's WADA games, and then there's also VGA, which it would be, a different grading scale. So like that would be like a 95 or like a 100 or an 80 plus or whatever. And then you have WADA has a completely different grading scale. So I'm assuming you're going to send it to WADA based off of a 9.5. WADA grading scale isn't like equal to VGA. VGA's grading scale is much more difficult to get higher grades. So like something like this behind me I have is a 95 Pokemon trading card game, and that was directly from a factory sealed case, and it didn't get a perfect score. And I also had some that came back a 90, like a 90, and that's straight from a factory sealed case, and it goes up. There's so many levels above a 90. There's like 4 more levels above a 90. So that's how difficult the grading scale is for VGA. Now WADA, it's easier to slide up higher on the grade scale. So one thing we can look at here is, first of all, WADA will grade, probably easier to show you guys actually. Probably easier to show you. I'll show you guys this one. I got some WADA graded games. I have a bunch of games that I need to send in to get graded. I've been putting it off for so long, so check it out. So WADA, right? If you look at that is, hopefully you guys can see that. There's a 9.0 is the grade overall on that. Then the seal has a B+. So WADA will grade the actual game and then the actual seal separately. So, and you can see on the back there, a 9, they have like the details, a 9, and then the B+ seal rating. So when we look at this, there's some things you want to look at. You want to look at the seal, right? So you can see like there's definitely light scratches all around it. That's one thing to look at. Then another thing you want to look at is like if there's dents and things like that. So I can see a little one right there. I see some creases right here. I think I see something down there. It's hard to, it won't let me zoom. Oh, I got to show you guys the screen. Sorry. Let me do that again. All right. So this is the seal, right? So you can see like there's light scratches all on it. Then you can see like right here, there's a crease on this side. If you can see my mouse right here, you can see there's like a dent right here on that corner. Then there's also a crease down here. It's hard to show you guys that one on the bottom right corner, but maybe I'll have a different angle to show you guys down there. Then I have other photos here. Here's the back. The back's looking really good, but you can see there's a corner ding there. There's a corner ding there. There's a crease right there. There's a little crease right here. I mean, it's a beautiful game, though. Don't get me wrong. There's a somewhat decent dent right there. These are the things that you want to look at overall on the games. And then I think we have another photo, and it almost looks like it's kind of crushed. It's definitely crushed in right here. So what we can do now is you go on here and we can pull up the WADA grading scale. So WADA, let me pull it up. Hopefully I can. Grading scale. WADA grading scale. Let's see. They don't make it easy to find the grading scales on any website. Grading. Learn more. Here we go. All right. WADA grading scale. So this is WADA Games. They're one of the other leaders in grading video games. They're a lot newer to the market. I think they've only been around maybe not even 2 years yet. So here's the scale. Okay. And I want to see if you're in the live chat just to make sure you're talking about WADA. I'm assuming you're talking about WADA though. Okay, so here's the scale. Here's the seal scale. You can click on each one and they actually give you like an overall of what the seal would look like. So if we look at A, it's a seal that exhibits some light to medium scuffing and other detracting marks, as well as no more than a few minuscule holes usually seen at the corners and edges. So that would be like an example of a seal that got an A, right? Then a B, they don't have a B plus, they don't have a picture of. But then there's like a B right here. So like, I mean, the seal is kind of tough to say. You could probably be anywhere between a B and an A, depending on, you know, how they dock it. It's a little bit more difficult to get it. You have to acquire an eye for grading scales, and they're so different from WADA to VGA that sometimes it's difficult to pinpoint it a little bit. But if we look at the actual scale here, then the other thing is looking at what the box looks like. So if we go down to like a 9.6, well, they don't even have a 9.5 on the scale. They have a 9.8, a 9.6, a 9.4. So like a 9.6 box right here. Below you'll find a useful photo that referenced the selected grade type. So they don't really say, they're not really saying what they're looking for on an actual product, right? Like on the actual box. They just show you an example. So it's kind of difficult to see off of that. So it's tough. I don't really think that you're going to get, to be honest with you, I don't think you're going to be up at the 9.6 range. It's tough to say. You might be more like in the 9 range, I'm going to say, you know, maybe the 8.5 range. And then for VGA, there's another completely different scale. For VGA, you're probably more on like the 85 range. I think you're more in that range, like the 8.5 to 9 for WADA, and then maybe like the 85 range for VGA. But it's an awesome game. I mean, it's just, you know, when you have like the dents and stuff like that, that's going to take marks off on the scale. But yeah. All right. So we are going to move on to the next question here. All right. So question is from Alan. This is a market question. Hey, PokeRev, I was wondering what you think is happening with the price history of first edition Eevees from Jungle PSA 9 slabs. Seems like some price manipulation or something to me. Thanks. Let's check it out. I've noticed a lot of cards in particular have been going up quite a bit in value. So, you know, it's possible that it's just, you know, a first print of Eevee, and that people are going for them. But we'll see exactly. We'll take a peek here. But a lot of jungle cards, even in 9s and especially 10s, obviously, but 9s too have been going up quite a bit in value. So what we can do is PSA 9, first Eevee, jungle. We could just kind of jump in and see if we can figure out if something's going on here or not. So there's only 4 on the market, okay? 200 best offer, 175 or best offer. What you can do is go to sold. We're talking about PSA 9 first edition Eevees from Jungle. Trying to figure out what's going on here. So, what we can do is go to end it recently. Okay? So, if we go back, we go all the way back to as far as eBay lets us go back, is back to June. So, about $30 total if you include the shipping on this one. So, $30, $30, $28, you know, around 30. Now we're dipping down to like 20-ish. 20 in July, 23 in July, 30 at the end of July. So now we're up to 30, moving up to 30. August 3rd was the last one sold for 30, 30, 40, beginning of August, 43. Now, August 5th, there's a Probstein auction that ends at $180. $180 for a 9 Eevee. So one thing you can do is, this is kind of like where it all started, right? Is this Eevee here. So we can look at the bids. And what we can do is, we can usually see the bid activity. So this bidder has 33 feedback. I mean, these all down here look legit. You know, 17 feedback, $4 bid, $5 bid, and that's nothing. So really, it's between this person with 33 feedback and 847 feedback. So you can see the bid activity for this person has 60% bid activity from Probstein. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, though. Then we move on to this person who has only 17 bid activity. So you can't really know for sure if anything's going on with this. But what you can do is, you could see is that, you know, some people only follow certain auction houses, and they're only going to buy from like a high rated auction house like Probstein or PWCC. Then we have another one that sold a week later for 175 or best offer. You know, it's very possible that this person could have chill bid it up. Let's see what this one sold for. I think Kanto's Finest usually hangs out here, because I see the seller's Kanto's Finest. If you know anything with, if you have information Kanto's Finest on your sold Eevee, let us know. I'm trying to see if you're here in the chat or not. I feel like I see you in here sometimes. But yeah, let us know if, you know, if you sold the card, what you sold it for, or anything like that. We're just trying to figure out if anything's going on with the Eevees. It really can come down to supply and demand, though. If we're not seeing it and people want it, and then somebody just decides to pay that price, and then other people will, you know, sometimes they'll pay it as well. But $125 is what it looks like this sold for. $125. So, you know, is there any, I'm not accusing anybody of anything whatsoever. You know, we're just trying to figure out what's going on here. But the one other thing I do see is that there's none on the market. So, like, if it comes down to it and somebody wants it enough and they're willing to pay, you know, $125 or $175, you know, it's possible that it could be going for that price. It's tough to say for sure, so we don't know. But what we can do is look at the 10s. And we can see if there's any 10s listed and what they are listed for. So there's a 10 for $219 listed. There's only one for $220. And then this one sold for $250. It's really tough to say, guys. But either way, we can keep an eye on it. We can check back on it in a week or two and see if there's anything anything else going on with that. Next question. Let's see what we got here. All right, so Faucet Failure has a grading question. I have a master set of Hidden Fates and was wondering if it's worth grading the entire set, or is that excessive? Well, it depends. I mean, if you want to have the entire set graded in your collection, that would be totally cool. It's going to come down to what you're looking to do with it. If you're looking to sell it, maybe just grade the shiny GXs and the regular shinies, you know? The full entire set, including, including everything, you know, maybe it could be worth it. If we go here we can look at the entire set, like, like this. I don't know if you're talking about, you know, when you say master set, I'm assuming you're talking about every single card. So I don't know if you're thinking of grading the non-hollows as well, but where is it at here? Hidden Fates, Hidden Fates, Hidden Fates. There we go. So yeah, I mean, like, this is the entire set right here. 68 cards, and then the subset and everything like that. So 68 on the main set, and then the shiny vault goes through to another 94 cards on top of that. It really depends on what you want to do with it, though, at the end of the day. If you're looking to just hang on to it, having the entire set great, it could be pretty cool. If you're looking to sell, you know, it's really up in the air on that one. But yeah, good luck with whatever you choose to do with it. So, Dragonix has a question. The goal is Darkness Ablaze worth it for a booster box compared to other sets? Is Darkness Ablaze worth it for a booster box compared to other sets? Is Darkness Ablaze worth getting for $100? So yeah, I mean, it's a cool set, right? I mean, that's probably about the market on them for Darkness Ablaze. It's the newest set from Pokemon. So Darkness Ablaze, and if you can be a little more specific in your question, because I'm not sure exactly what you're looking to do here with it. If you're just looking to have fun with it, yeah, $100 for Darkness Ablaze, $90. That's what they're going for. You can get it for $90 right here. You know, $90 out the door. Open it up, have fun with it, or whatever. You know, try to pull some big hits, whatever you want to do. I mean, if you're talking about investing, you know, I would not be buying Darkness Ablaze booster boxes to hang on to. not for any time soon. Not for any time soon. But let's see here. And I didn't show you guys that. So right here, $90. Darkness Ablaze booster boxes, you can grab them for $90, $100 or so. You know, go to your local card store, and if they have them for $100, maybe support them. All right. Let's move on to the next question here. We have a question, and it is from Marshall. What's going on? This is a grading question. We have, the question is, please look at my Charizard if you could advise on what the grade can be. Yeah, absolutely. So let's see what we got here. We got a Charizard, and I'm going to pull that up on the screen there. I do not know what the language is on this one. We got, I think it's Spanish, actually. We got that front one. We got a side view. And guys, yeah, if you are just joining up here, we're doing a live Q&A where you can ask all of your Pokemon cards related questions. So feel free to throw a question in on the form in the description down below. But right now we're looking at this card. It is a Charizard base set. And really what you want to do here is look at the edge wear. A lot of this stuff I went over before in a lot of the lives, but you see it has something we call silvering in the hobby, right? So right here on the edges, you can see like silver. That's called silvering. That's basically when the card chips away a bit on the borders, and you can see that hollow peeking through on the front. So you can see it all around it. So it has a lot of silvering. It's got some dirt down there. The hollow, I can't tell if there is any scratching. I'm going to assume that it's a little, I could see it actually. I can see faint scratches all up on here. So it has scratching on there. Let's check out the centering as well on the card. It's not bad. I mean, it's not perfect. You're probably looking at about 9 centering. You might slip by with 10 centering. Then we're going to look on the side view here. You can see more silvering up close. Thank you for the good photos as well, Marshall. And then the back. Okay, so that's where we're pretty beat up, right? The back is looking pretty beat up. I mean, you got all kinds of dirt. You got all kinds of whitening all around the sides and everything like that. So a card like this, the front's not bad, though. It's the back that's... And then, of course, down here we have this, right? So, like, what we could do is, if you're curious, I can go on eBay, and I could type in, like, what a PSA 3 kind of looks like to give you an idea. So, PSA 3 Charizard. Let's just see what a 3 looks like. Let's see what a 3... So, PWCC, this is one of the auctions going off. A Legendary Collection Charizard. This one got a 3? No, number 3. It's an 8. I was about to say... the Charizard's number 8 in this, as number 3 in this set. So when I put a 3 in, it gets really a lot of different listings come up. Let me do 4. Let me do 4 then. Okay, now. Oh wait, no, it's number 4. What? PSA. Charizard's number 4. So why did that come up when I put a 3 in? Oh, for Legendary Collection, it's number 3. Okay, got it. So PSA 3. Let's see if this person has back photos. So this is a 3 Charizard from base set. And the back, it's pretty, and there's a giant crease there. That really brought it down. But there's like a lot of whitening, but not as much as you have. So you might be looking at like, that's one of the lowest grades probably, that back. I mean, you might be in like 1 to 2 range on that. But the front, the one thing is that the front is not as bad. I would say anywhere between, that back is really going to bring it down. You might be looking at like a 2 or a 3 just because of the amount of whitening on the back alone. So hopefully that helps you out. But either way, it's a cool card. It's a cool card to have. All right. Let's see what the next question is going to be. Let me switch back over here, jump on the form, and let's see what we got. So question is from Skylar. It's a collecting question. The question is, how do you feel about cracking cases on lower graded cards? Sometimes a card will look better in a binder than when that 5 is next to it. Any thoughts? Yeah, absolutely. I know a lot of people do that. You can crack the card out of a PSA case, take the card back out and put it in a binder, throw it in there. You know, when it's in a binder, a lot of times you're not really looking at the back as much. You're just looking at the front eye appeal. So a 5, like even with Marshall's card that we were looking at up here, like it's really just the back that's taking a lot of the eye appeal away. I mean, there is that little mark on the bottom. You guys probably can't see that, but there's a little mark down there in that corner. But overall, the card from the front actually looks pretty solid. So something like that, you know, it could be Marshall. Maybe it's not worth grading this card just because of the back alone. Maybe throw it in a binder and you get that like front eye appeal of it. But yeah, there's no problem with that at all. You could do that. Just one thing you want to do is send that label in back to PSA so they take it out of the population report. So, you know, like the PSA label that's on the top of there, it'll come out. So you could put it in an envelope, throw a stamp on it. Or if you have a bunch of cards that you crack, wait till you crack a bunch of them, throw those in there, send it to PSA, and they'll take that out of the population report so that the population reports aren't as, you know, messed up. They're never going to be completely accurate because people don't send them back in. But for the most part, 10 should be pretty accurate. That's where you're going to get the most accuracy because nobody's great cracking PSA 10 cards. Unless you're crazy. All right, so let's see what we have up here next. I'm going to jump back onto the question form. I'm actually going to jump back into the live stream too, just to make sure that Flips, what's going on? Make sure nobody that I missed anything here. Let's see. We have also, okay, so we got a super chat from Edward. New collector. Rumors are the TCG is on a decline. No. Not so much. I mean, the TCG brand, I don't know exactly what you mean by are you talking, you know, trading card games as a whole? Quite the opposite, to be honest with you. Right now, we're seeing the biggest like jump in all kinds of things, popularity, prices, collectors, investors. Like right now, it's probably as big as it's ever been for the most part. But thank you so much for the super chat. And then we also have Misenko with the super chat. Would you rather own an uncut sheet of first edition Charizards in mid condition or spend a day with your idol, whether they're dead or alive? Misenko, throwing in the crazy questions. That's a good question. I'd go with the uncut sheet. The uncut sheet. First edition Charizards in mint condition on an uncut sheet. I'd frame that up, and I'd be able to see that every day. That would be cool. That would be pretty cool. Cool question, you guys. If you want to answer that as well, feel free to. We also got Anthony with the super chat. Anthony says, "Hey Rev, how would I get a PSA case replaced?" Oh, that's a cool question. You can do it right on PSA's website. I'm not logged in, but I think I might be able to show you. Let me switch a Ruski. Here we go. So you actually just go to start a submission. Yeah, see, I can't really log in right now because got personal information on there and stuff, but maybe I can look on here. Trading card authentication and grading. Maybe not. Oh yeah. So you want to click on Reholder. Here it is. So reholder, re-encapsulation of PSA graded trading cards. All right. So obviously you don't want to spend that much, but that's like, wait, why does it say 500? For a declared value of $500,000 or more. That's why I would say that. So reholder is definitely not that much. Oh, here we go. Okay, now I gotta go down more. Let me do it this way. Reholder. Let's see what the price is. $10. That's gonna be for most of them. Oh, that's packs. You want to do a card. $50. They really charge that much? Wow. But yeah, you can re-encapsulate a graded card. One thing though, if you're looking to get it, I don't know if you're looking to get it because of damage on the actual slab, the case, or if you're looking to just get like the newer label. Anthony, let me know if you're still in the chat. If it's just, if you're looking because the card, the actual case has like scratched up or whatever, or if you want like the new updated PSA labels. I know some people are like super just like they really like to have all their PSA cards the same exact label. They don't like to have like some older ones and some newer ones. But here's the thing, if it is because of scratches, one thing that you can do that actually works really well is you can get car polish. Like I forget the one that I use. It's in like an orange bottle. Let me see if I can find it. You can actually use car polish, right? And you put it on a one of those microfiber cloths so it doesn't scratch it. Damage to the case. Okay. Is it cracked or is it just scratched? Because if it's just scratched, you can actually fix it. And I've done it plenty of times. Even some crazy scratches, I've been able to get them out. Like what you do is, you guys probably gonna think I'm crazy, but watch it. It actually works really well. Let me see if I can get it on here. Yeah, here it is. All right. Hashtag not sponsored, but check this out. You can, here's what I use. Of course, everything's difficult to find, so I don't even know if this is in stock, but I use this. New Finish. The once a year car polish. I promise you guys, you will not regret this. If you buy a bottle of this for $7, if you have scratches on your PSA case, what you do is you coat the entire top of the PSA case with it. Then you get your microfiber cloth and you just go to town, right? You just go to town, polishing it up for like a couple minutes straight, then wipe it clean, right? Wipe it clean, then look at it. You'll probably see that there's a lot of scratches are gone. Then do it again. Press hard. If you have deep scratches on it, press hard. Like push as hard as you can on that case and really like pretend like you're buffing it out, like you're buffing your car, right? Like just do that for a couple minutes, then wipe it clean. You'll notice every time you do it, scratches less and less. You can get it to the point, unless it's like I'm talking like a scratch with like a knife, that's not going to come out. But like you can get out like probably like 90% of the scratches off of a PSA case by doing that. Try it out and let me know. Let me know if it works, Anthony. Unless you're talking about the case just straight up has like a crack in it, which obviously you won't be able to get out. But scratches, you can get them out. But yeah, hopefully that helps somebody out. It helped me out a lot because I had cards over the years that if you don't put them in the sleeves and stuff, or even sometimes straight from PSA, they have scratches on the cases, which is really annoying. Mike's vlog, what's going on? Good to see you here. Thank you so much for the super chat. Wanted to thank you for helping me understand collecting is not all about the profit, but for the love of the collection. Started my Mimikyu collection. Dude, that is so cool to hear. And absolutely, that's like one of the main things that I always like to drive home with a lot of people is like, you want to be involved with stuff that you genuinely are passionate about. Because you'll see, there's going to be, there's nothing wrong with it, but there's definitely going to be a lot of people that are coming in, especially this year, that are investors that don't care about Pokemon cards at all. They're not going to care about it. They're just going to, one day they'll be like, I'm going to sell this stuff. I'm bored of it. They'll sell it all and then they'll be out of the market, right? But don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people coming in now specifically that are really, really into Pokemon and Pokemon cards, and they're going to stick around and they're going to enjoy it and they're going to continue collecting for, who knows, the rest of their life maybe. But there's definitely going to be a drop off at some point where, you know, people just get bored of it. They're not into it or whatever. And it happens. I mean, it's life, right? You get into things, you like it, and then you're just like, I'm over it, and then they're gone, right? But if you the more you're into it, the more you're actually passionate about something, and the more you enjoy something, the more better off you are with it. But let's see. Anthony says, I'm going to buy the car polish technique first. Thanks for the help, Rev. Love what you do. Hey, that's awesome to hear. Best of luck with it. Let us know next time how it goes. Everyone's buying car polish, guys. What will we talk about next? You never know here. All right. Let's go to the next question here. Let's see what we got. So, pull the question form back up again. And I'm going to try to get to as many questions as I can. So, Matt says, the goal is to become a collector. Hey, well, you probably already are. If you have at least one Pokemon card, or you're at all just curious about Pokemon cards, you're a collector. The question is, I got 4 packs from GameStop and pulled these sorry. I think there's some Crimson Invasion, but what do you think happens during the training? What do you think happens during the training? What does that mean? What do you think happens during the training? I'm not sure I quite understand your question. Let's see. Let's see what we have here. I'm seeing some cards. It looks like... I'm not totally sure what's going on here with this question, but we have some... I don't know if you would have pulled those all from 4 packs, so... we got some gold cards. Yeah, I'm not totally sure if I'm understanding the question correctly, so I apologize. But yeah, thank you for the question, and sorry I couldn't answer it. I'm sorry I could not answer that one completely there. But yeah, best of luck on the journey. All right, so Kyle, got a buying and selling question. The goal is to have me give you a shape up. I got you. The question is, morning. Hope you all are having a wonderful Saturday. I'm looking to add unlimited base set boosters to my collections. My question is, do you think it's worth spending the extra money for packs enclosed in blisters versus loose packs? Thanks for keeping up the great content. That's pretty cool. So with blister packs, and for those of you guys that don't know, I'll pull those up on here on the screen. But blister packs are basically booster packs that are inside of like this. So here's a booster pack, and it's inside of a piece of cardboard and plastic. That's called a blister. So you can buy booster packs for many, many sets, and you can get them in something like this. Now, this right here alone adds a few things. Number one, first of all, it adds collectability, a different sort of thing to kind of collect, because there's always going to be, for the most part, a premium on a blister, because most of the time they're tougher to find. And I mean, a lot of people think they're really cool. You can hang them up. They add like a lot of really nice designing to it. You know, you got the back and everything like that. So this in itself is collectible versus a booster pack, which is also collectible, but in another way. Now, on top of that, you have the added bonus of it not being weighed, because you can't weigh, for the most part, you can't weigh these types of things where people, if you guys know what weighed packs are, it's basically people can go in and they can weigh a pack on a scale and try to see the heaviest ones and keep them for themselves. Those ones have the hollow cards. It's tough you can't really do that with modern stuff really anymore, but like a lot of the older stuff, especially something like this, Dragon Frontiers. So in terms of like, if you should collect it in blister, just having it in a blister alone, I think is really awesome. And I know a lot of people like them, but let me know right now, what would you prefer to have? And if you're in the chat right now, if you don't know, there's a live chat. You can click that button and go into the live chat where we're all talking here, but put either hashtag booster pack or hashtag blister. If you could have either a blister pack of something or a booster pack, which would you choose? If money aside, which do you prefer, blister pack or a booster pack? But in terms of like spending more money, you're getting more sort of out of it in terms of like, you know, the added bonus of it most likely not being able to be weighed, that extra layer of just like kind of cool collectability to it. But yeah, it depends. It depends if I think blisters in terms of like resale value have a better shot because of the fact that, like I said, you can't really weigh them. I mean, technically, I think you can possibly, but it's a lot tougher. So people are more trusting of buying a blister pack that they're getting something that's unweighed and just really awesome looking as compared to a loose booster pack. That's what you have to worry about is with booster packs is if you are getting it from a legitimate source, how can you prove that one day if you do need to resell it or just value alone? But let me jump in the chat and see if you guys would choose. Let's see. Blister pack are usually more pricey. I usually go with the loose packs. We got blister, booster pack, blister, booster pack, blister, booster. I'm seeing like for every like 5 blisters, I'm seeing 1 booster. So like I'm seeing like about 80% of people are saying that they'd rather have a blister pack, which I mean, for many reasons. So there you go. Like that's other people just like chiming in right now. That's the cool thing about this live is like it's not just me, right? Like I'm giving you my opinion on it and as best that I can help you with it. But you also have all of these awesome other people here hanging out, collectors in the chat that are here willing to give their advice or their opinion as well. So you can take that and for what it's worth and kind of like make your own decision on it if it's worth it to you. I'm personally on the boat of like paying the extra for the blister. That's just me though. There's nothing wrong with loose booster packs. But yeah. So let's see what the next question is. We got all right, let me hashtag rehydrate while I read that a little bit. Okay, so question from Garrett C. This is under the other category. The goal is to collect all the new VMAX cards and promos and then start getting into older sets. That's very cool. Very cool goal. And the question is, what tips would you give someone wanting to get into making YouTube videos about Pokemon cards and pack openings? How can I make sure my videos are worth watching before I post them? I've been into collecting for about a month or two and recently and used to collect a good bit, but when I was younger, but I want to get into this making videos to document and connect with the community. Hey, well, that's the first thing. You're already on the right track is that you want to make videos to document what you're doing and to just connect with the community. So first of all, that alone is worth it because you're just doing it purely for the fun and you want to connect with people, you know, and just the community as a whole, right? And document your pack openings and for everybody else to experience them at the same time. But one of the main things is what you've hit on there a bit is just to just make sure you're having fun, right? If you're not having fun, you know, it might not be worth it, right? If it's like a stressful thing, something that you're like, oh, I got to do this now, or I got to do this. It's not really something that I would recommend. But if you're having fun, that's one of the main things. Now, the other important thing is if you're trying to connect with people and actually, you know, grow an audience is you want to bring value to people, right? So we do this live. If you don't know, this is live Q&As every Saturday morning. We started doing this probably a few months ago now. And that's one of the things is I felt like these bring value to a lot of people. After I did a test run the first time, when I saw everybody was excited to do this, and I thought, you know, let's make it into a weekly series, right? And I'm trying to bring as much value as I can to you guys, whether that be through, you know, learning something new, right? I assume a lot of you guys here are able to pick up on at least one or a few things each and every live. That's like the goal is that you guys come here and it's a new experience every time. And you guys, number one, have fun. But number two, you learn something, right? Or you share your knowledge with somebody else, help somebody else out, whether you're a new collector or an old collector, whatever it is. So in general, bring value. Now, value is not just simply from like helping people, bring them knowledge and help them through certain questions, but it's also an entertainment value, right? So another thing when I say value is if you want to entertain, right? So if you're doing pack openings and you want to entertain people, and number one, as long as you're having a good time, the entertainment will be there, right? Because you're having fun, other people are having fun, and you're connecting with everybody. So if you want to bring value in another form of entertainment, open packs up, you know, have a blast, like, you know, just have a good time overall And if you're bringing that, value is like the main thing. Having fun and bring value. I think that's the two big things that you should take away from that. But yeah, best of luck on the channel. And like, it's always awesome to hear people starting up new channels and everything like that, and just building up communities. So best of luck to you. And yeah, Garrett, shout out to you. Best of luck. Best of luck. But yeah, guys, hopefully you're having an awesome time in the chat. I'm just going to jump in as much as I can. I apologize. I can't always be in the live chat as much as I'd like to during a lot of lives. But yeah. So we do have a super chat here from, let me see, Brandon. Level X is my passion. Wizards of the Coast is overrated. Hey, that's an opinion. It's a valid opinion. I mean, it's a valid opinion. The one thing I wonder, though, is did you grow up with Level X? Because, see, like, I grew up with Wizards of the Coast, so I'm like, you know, Wizards of the Coast is my OG nostalgia, but Level X could be your nostalgia, or maybe it's your nostalgia, meaning you newly are jumping into Level X's, and it's something that you're into. But either way, like, there's no right or wrong thing. That's at the end of the day. Microfiber cloths are getting bought up now. It says highly blessed from the what do you call it? The car polish and microfiber cloths. People are buying them now. And then we got Cole with the $4.99 super chat. Dude, I appreciate that so much. Thank you. There's no comment on that, but I appreciate that. Mystic Mute, thank you so much for being here as well, and everybody else that's joining up here. Trainer Sully says, Rev, do you think you're doing another Hidden Fates opening soon? I think we got to, especially with that reprint coming soon. But yeah, again, if you guys don't know, we have that huge not Hidden Fates, Charizard hunt coming up, and there are Hidden Fates packs in that. Hidden Fates, Darkness Ablaze, Flash Fire, Evolutions, and Burning Shadows. I'm beyond pumped up for that. I'm so excited for that. All right, so I'm going to jump back into the questions here. So, Gus, grading question. The goal is to start grading my best pulled and collected cards. That's awesome. The question is, hey, Rev, can you please help me check out the grades or what these cards may grade? Note that the unlimited cards I recently bought from a local shop for $20 to $30. All right, so let's pull up some of you got a lot of photos here, so let me get a second here to pull up some of these just to get started. And I will do my best to let you know what I think about these cards. All right, so first card we have here is going to be, let me throw this up on that. We got a Mewtwo base unlimited, and judging from the photos, you got some pretty decent quality cards here. The front is looking pretty nice. You do have the silvering, like I mentioned before, on another person's cards. You can see silvering on the edges there. It's common. Sometimes you can get it out of packs like that, especially from base set, Jungle and Fossil. And we got the back here. Pretty solid. I mean, you do have like some whitening, but it's nothing like too crazy. You got some up there. I mean, you might have a shot at a 9 on this, honestly. I'd say an 8 to a 9. The centering's very, very good on this Mewtwo. Looking like an 8 to 9. 100% worth grading. I mean, really, any Wizards of the Coast card at this point is worth grading. Wizards of the Coast holo card, at least, in any grade. So the Gyarados, same thing. Centering is really nice. And you guys you'll notice that they do have a bow. And that's what we brought up earlier from somebody else, is that the cards that have a bow, it's not necessarily a bad thing as long as you don't have a crease, which I don't see creases on these. And you'd really have to get a crazy bow going to get a crease, but I don't see creases on these. And then this one's a little less quality, so this one's probably more like a 7 to an 8 at the most on the Gyarados. Another one that's definitely worth grading up for sure. We also have, what else do we have here? I think I saw that one already. We also have Pikachu. We got a Pikachu from Evolutions in reverse. I mean, that's a solid card. Pikachu's always worth it. Judging from this one really quickly, back's looking pretty solid. I think you might have a cut line on the left, unless that's a glare. It's tough to tell, but it's a solid card. Centering's it's a little off. You might be looking at something like a 9 on that Pikachu. And then I think you got one more card on here. I think it's a second Pikachu. Yeah, a second Pikachu. Same thing on this one. Definitely worth it in a 9 to 10, which I think most of these cards should be. Besides the one Gyarados, which is more like a 7 to 7 to 8ish or so. But yeah, awesome collection there. I definitely would be worth it. So best of luck on the grades on that. Let's move on here to our next question though. All right, so Roy with the grading question. What's up, Rev? Pulled this hollow Charizard. I was wondering if it has a chance of getting an OC grade. Hope the picture comes through it well enough. Cheers from Switzerland. Keep up with the solid entertainment. Hey, I appreciate that. So looking to see if your Charizard is going to have the off-center grade. So I'm just going to pull this up on the screen. So really quickly here, if you guys check that out, I would say no. It's not, most likely not going to get it. I would say if it was up there more, probably. Like maybe halfway up higher. PSA, like I've mentioned a bunch of times, they're really like strict about handing out the OC grade. I don't see this one getting it. I mean, it could. There's definitely a possibility, but I don't think it'll get it. It's close, but I usually like to see it up a little bit more here, a little like halfway up from where it is. But yeah, maybe, most likely not though. All right, so let's see what our next question is. Billy got a buying and selling question. Is there any difference between the first print and reprint of Hidden Fates tins? Do you think Hidden Fates tins are worth holding onto with all the reprints? So with the first reprints, one thing that some people did notice, it's never been confirmed or not, is that the reprint had lower pull rates from the shiny vault. For whatever reason, it seemed to be like a lot of people that were opening up tins had a lower pull rate on the reprint. Now, there's nothing really that you can determine a reprint tin from a non-reprint tin just from looking at it, or anything like no copyright dates or anything like that, unless anybody has found something that I don't know about. As of now, you can't. It's tough to tell. And in terms of like holding on to with all the reprints, excuse me, it's still a set that's pretty difficult for people to acquire. I mean, you see, I think tins go for about $40 a tin last time I checked. So even with the reprint, yeah, there's probably going to be, there's probably going to be a drop on the price. But overall, I see it as a long-term thing, as Hidden Fates is just one of, if not, in a lot of people's opinions, the best set within the last 5 years. Obviously, that's opinion-based, but I personally, out of the last four years or so, 5 years, Hidden Fates is my favorite set out of those 4 to 5 years. So, and I know it's true for a lot of people. So I think long-term Hidden Fates is still really solid. All right. So, Stephen L. with the buying and selling question. The goal is to collect all the Vaporeon cards. Nice. Vaporeon Evolution. Hey, PokeRev, I'm a fan from Australia in the hunt for the Vaporeon GX collection box and wondering if you could help me getting it, as I'm trying to collect everything Vaporeon. Vaporeon GX collection box. Well, so I mean, first of all, we can do is, one of the things here that's really cool about the lives is that you can network. Like, it's totally cool if you guys, afterwards, if you want to link up to actually finalize things. But like, if people are networking to a certain degree in the chat, whether you're, if it's something like this, where, I'm saying it here as well, so a lot of people can hear it, that you're looking for a Vaporeon GX collection box. And I know right now, I think there's probably like 500 or 600 people watching this live. About 500 people are watching this live. So like, that's going out to all these people and everybody else that watches it after. So, we can just say right off the bat that Stephen L is looking for this. And then the other thing I can do is I can kind of do a search on eBay. Now, if you've been looking for it, I'm assuming that there's probably none on eBay. Unless this is the box that you're talking about. I'm not 100% familiar on it, but this looks to be it. So I know you're in Australia, so this might not actually be showing up for you, but this, to my knowledge, might be what you're after. Vaporeon GX special collection box includes 2 foil promo cards, Vaporeon and Eevee, and it looks like got some Guardians Risings packs in there and Evolutions as well. It's an awesome Vaporeon collection piece. This person has them up for $90 plus $13 shipping. It does say they ship to the United States and many other countries, so I don't know if they're shipping to Australia or not. It says they ship to Australia, so maybe this might be where you can snag it if this is what you're looking for. I don't know what these actually retail value are, so what I can do is go to sold as well, and it looks like one sold for $49, another one sold for $49 as well. So I see a Flareon one as well, so I'm assuming that's what you're looking for. So hopefully that helped you out a bit on the hunt for the Vaporeon cards. So, Franklin sent a question in about grading. I don't see any pictures on that, unfortunately, so I can't answer that question for you. All right, so let's see what the next question is on the form here. We got Slushy Boy, collecting question. The goal is to get a good VMAX. The question is, if I was going to hunt for a VMAX, what VMAX and or what set do you recommend? Oh, that totally is going to be up to you, my friend. So that's the thing, right? It's a collecting, sort of more like a collecting question. So when we talk about collecting questions, it really doesn't come down to what you personally enjoy. Are you into like the Charizard? Are you into like, I like Darkness Ablaze VMAXs. I mean, the Butterfree's in there. There's a lot of really awesome stuff in that set in particular, but that just goes back to like, what do you want, right? Do you like those types of cards? Do you like the Charizard? Do you like Butterfree and all the other stuff that's in that set? Do you like, other Sword and Shield set like base or Rebel Clash stuff? Like, what exactly are you looking for with VMAX? There's only a limited amount of cards that have actually been produced as VMAXs, so there's not like a ton of different sets, but you can base it off of like the Sword and Shield era and kind of like dial in from there. So really just going to depend on it, what you're after. All right. Let's see. Next question we got is from Recon. It's a grading question. The question is, should I grade my Charizard VMAX from Darkness Ablaze? So I'm going to pull up on the screen here. We got a Charizard. And just overall, yes. I mean, if you're looking, it just depends. Again, it goes back to like what exactly you're looking to do with it. As I mentioned before, Sword and Shield cards, specifically from that era or this era that we're in, the quality is like amazing. Right? So I don't see any back photos, but I'm just going to assume the back is looking pretty solid. The front's looking solid. It's looking pretty well centered. You're looking at, a safe 9, possibly a 10 on it. Can't see the back though. But yeah, 100% would be worth grading it if you're looking specifically for like more of a value. But then it also goes to the fact, like, do you want to collect PSA graded cards? So there's a bunch of different things to kind of go over before, you say you want to grade a card. But overall, for value, yes, and then collectability, a lot of people like graded cards. So hopefully that helped answer your question there. Like with a lot of stuff, it's not a one, like a single answer, or like, a lot of things are opinion based, right? So a lot of it comes down to what you want to do. So a lot of it's not one right or wrong answer, I should say. All right. I also want to welcome, we got some new members to the PokeCave. Faucet Failure, as well as we have Kevin M. Thank you guys for jumping in to the PokeCave. Make sure you check out the community tabs for information if you want to jump in on the members exclusive opening. That is going to be at the end of this month coming up. We got about a week left, so until that's going down, if you want to jump in on that, just check the community tab. That'll give you information to access the members exclusive tab at thepokecave.com, where you can grab your packs if you want to be in on this one. But yeah, you'll have access to all of the openings every month at the end of the month, as well as all the other perks and everything like that. But yeah, welcome to the PokeCave. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it. Jumping in the chat here, Mr. Hollis says, it's kind of overwhelming right now, all the Pokemon products coming out. Yeah, yep, definitely. And Noah agrees with you as well. It's a lot, right? Because we had Darkness Ablaze, right? That literally just came out like a week ago or two, not even 2 weeks probably. We have also coming up next is going to be Champion's Path this month coming up. We only got one more month until Champion's Path. Then we also have the Hidden Fates reprint that's going to be right at the same time as that. Then we got that Vivid Voltage set that's coming out in, I think it's November. So yeah, there's a lot like within this time frame, this like second half of the year, September, October, November, December, like we got a bunch of stuff coming out. So there's a lot, right? And that's the one thing is when you start to feel overwhelmed about sets and Pokemon cards, that's when you want to take a step back, right? And you just want to say, why am I doing this? I'm collecting. I'm here to have fun. Some people definitely, want to make a little bit of money on the side as well, whether that's, to support your family, to support your other projects or passions or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you're starting to feel overwhelmed, just really just like, honestly, just take a step back, right? And just make sure that you realize that you want to make sure you're having fun, right? You don't want something that's a hobby, specifically a hobby. You don't want it to be something that causes stress. You want it to be something that causes the opposite, right? It makes you happy. It makes you just something to look forward to. So when you start feeling overwhelmed, just kind of take a step back, right? Yeah, the amazing rares, Team Trubbish, Vivid Voltage. Like, I don't know which set to be more excited about. Champion's Path, Vivid Voltage. I mean, Hidden Fates reprint. That's always like a solid set as well. So yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. Good. I'm glad to hear you still enjoy it, Mr. Haas. That's awesome to hear. But just overall, like, just so everybody else is aware of it, make sure you're having a fun time. But yeah, sometimes I don't specifically mean it directly towards anybody. It's just like it's something that goes off in my head. I'm like, and I want to bring it up as like just a general thing for people to pick up on, whether they're in the chat now, they're watching the replay, or whatever the case is. Just to pick up on these things here and there. But yeah, let's throw up some more questions here and see. Let's see what we got here. We go like this. Hopefully I didn't mess something up here. Give me 1 second. We got. Okay, we're good. Like that. Okay. All right, so let's move into the question form again. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to get every single question. There's still quite a lot to go here, but I'm going to do my best to answer as many as I can. All right, so let's see what we got up next here. Going back to the form. All right. There we go. Okay, so Lucky Man has a question. Hey, PokeRev, I am new here. Never got in contact with Pokemon before. Thanks for your amazing content. Just watching because of you and your amazing community. Have a great day. Question. What have you liked this week and what are you looking forward to in the next week in points of Pokemon and your live stream content? Hey, it's an awesome question. And thank you for being here. It's cool to hear that you're jumping into the Pokemon community and having a good time with it, right? But what am I looking forward to the next week in terms of Pokemon? Let me think. So I'm always looking forward to the openings that we have here. Like, just every week, the lineups for openings are always a ton of fun. So, like the Cosmic Eclipse opening, we got the Heart Gold Soul Silver Triumphant opening, the Fossil First Edition opening is coming up on Tuesday. So that stuff like always excites me, right? Is like the openings that we have, because I know that's the time when I get to hang out with you guys, open up Pokemon cards, and just have like a total blast. So looking forward to that. And I guess that goes hand in hand with like Pokemon and the live streaming content as well. But definitely have a lot of other things in the works. Going to be coming sooner than later. Tomorrow's live stream in particular, I'm going to be doing something completely different. I'm not going to say what I'm doing yet or what it is, but like for tomorrow's opening, and again, guys, if you aren't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that bell icon to turn on notifications so you get notified when I do go live. But tomorrow, I'm doing something. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm doing something tomorrow for tomorrow's live stream opening that I've never done before, and it's going to be completely different. But it just goes back to like just having fun with it, right? Just having fun, and I think you guys will enjoy it. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah. Next question is from Pokemon Man, the market question. And the question is, how do you see base unlimited cards increasing over the years? So base unlimited, we've talked about this a handful of times here, but base unlimited is like the easiest access point for people that want to get into the old school stuff, or just the most popular like entry point, I should say. So base set unlimited is we grew up with it. A lot of us grew up with it as kids. It's like the most nostalgia. It's the first ever set. I think it's continuously going on an upward trend, at least in like our lifetime, right? That's as far out as I'm predicting it. So base unlimited, it's just like when somebody's new to Pokemon or they want to jump back into Pokemon, the first thing they remember is like base set, the original base set, or people that are new to Pokemon. A lot of people go for the original stuff, right? They want to see like the first ever stuff. And when we have first edition base set, but that is definitely not attainable to so many people. So then the next step would be, like Shadowless. And then next step from that is like base unlimited. But base unlimited, the one thing that it has is that so many people only had base unlimited, right? We didn't have first edition cards as kids. I mean, I had the first edition Machamp like everybody else, but like I never had a first edition base set, you know, non-holo or even holo card. They weren't even around really anywhere when I was a kid. I mean, there was Shadowless, but other than that, not first edition. So yeah, I see Base Unlimited as definitely a solid choice. And even though it's unlimited, right? It's not first edition like a lot of like the in comparison pricing to Jungle First Edition and Fossil First Edition, but you know, you can't compare first edition Jungle to first edition Base. All right, let's go. Let's see what we got up next here. Excuse me. We have a question from Greg. You'll see, Greg. All right, so let me just double check the chat, make sure everybody's. I always like to jump in and just double check to make sure everybody's having a good time here. So, all right, so our next question up is going to be from Gary C. It's a grading question. The goal is to be able to finance Pokemon hobby using funds from my sold Pokemon items. All right, so that's a good way to go about it, right? Is that you can buy a collection, sell the items that you don't need, and then you can use that money to bring it back into your collection, and then buy another collection, sell those parts that you don't want, use the funds, and so like that's like a really good way to go about it. So the question is, hey Rev, I opened some Darkness Ablaze, and my second pack I pulled the Charizard VMAX. I know that they're selling for a good price ungraded. This particular card is borderline OC in my opinion. I've attached photos to review. Do you think I should sell this card ungraded or send it to PSA in hopes it qualifies as OC and turn it becomes more valuable, or maybe a regular PSA 9 form of some card? Also, I'm wondering what you do with your bulk cards when you open packs from your personal collection. Thanks a ton and love the live stream. So to hit on that last question really quickly here is the bulk stuff. You can send it to places like Troll and Toad and then those guys where they buy it, you know, X amount of bulk for X amount of price, and then you can get store credit or you can get, you know, cash from it. Me personally, I usually just put it to the side. I put it in bins, and I just I like to hang on to a lot of my stuff. I've never actually traded bulk in or anything. I just know that that's the best way to go about it for the most part if you don't want it. But I just hang on to a lot of stuff over the years. So let's check out your card. Again, going back to with like OC, it is difficult to get the OC grade on a lot of stuff. The OC grade, for those who don't know, is off center. And I could pull this card up. And right off the bat, I will tell you that no, this won't get the PSA, the OC grade. I can't change the orientation on the pictures for some reason, but yeah. So we got the Charizard. I mean, you know, it's off. It's not perfectly centered, but it's not going to get the OC grade. And the same thing on the back, like it's definitely off, but I would not count it at all to get the OC grade on this one. So you basically would be looking at like probably a 9, you know. Well, that's the wrong card. Probably a 9 on something like this. And I don't even know what 9s are going for. So I can type it in here. We can see PSA 9 Charizard VMAX. And, well, that's the thing, right? So the PSA, there's not really any graded. So, like, see, this person has that Pop 1 PSA 9 Charizard that we saw earlier. If you guys were here in the population port, there's only 1 9. And I think it was 10 or 11 10s in the report. So, you know, this person sent it in probably like Super Express. I mean, they even have the form here when they got it. And, you know, see, they have the population part. But see, this is like something where they're supply and demand thing. It's not worth $700. I mean, because here's the thing. We see raw VMAX Charizard selling all day between $100 to like $150. So really, I actually would not grade your card. I would probably just sell it raw, because by the time you get the 9 back, and then by the time the market changes and everything, I don't see it being worth sending in to get graded. For a VMAX Charizard, I really see the only time, unless it's for your collection, you know, grade it for a 9 and getting your collection. But in terms of value, I only really see it being worth grading a VMAX Charizard at this point is if you think it's gonna get a 10. If you think it's gonna get a 10, because when you're looking at raw cards going for $100 to $150 with probably a ton of them having a shot at a 10, the 9 has to be devalued. The 9 is going to get devalued, and you're probably like a PSA 9 realistically for a Charizard VMAX. I would say no more than like $75. You know, because if that's the thing, if you can get a raw card for $100 with a shot at a 10, then it makes no sense to buy a 9. That's where this is what I'm talking about with like the supply stuff with the Charizard VMAX, where you have to be careful, is because there's so many that people are just selling them raw, and there's so many raw ones that have a shot at a 10 that it really, the only reason it would make sense to buy a 9 is if you can get it for less than $100, right? So that's my thinking on it anyway, is I would not grade it unless it's for your personal collection. And even at that, you might be better off just buying an ungraded one with a shot at a 10. So it depends. It definitely depends, guys. How do you verify that was the first one graded? So if you go to the PSA website, you can go to the population report. Just type in PSA population report and then type in the thing. Now, you don't know for sure if it is the first one, but for this one, it is the first one because they showed it with the population report of only, there was like 3 in the entire population report. Right now, there's none even on the report at all. So this is the first one. You'll never know what the first one ever was graded for cards because there's no way to tell. They don't have a way to tell that. All right, so Sweaty J in the house. What's going on, my friend? The question is, my entire neighborhood, 20 plus kids dueled for cards just like on TV. Did you ever duel for cards when you were young? Do you have any memories pertaining to this? Yes. And did you ever have any stolen? 100%. As a kid, yeah. I mean, we would battle for cards. We would, and a lot of times, I lost, so I would lose like good cards. It sucked, and it was, that was back before they banned cards. And that's what the problem was that kids, like, they lose their cards and they'd start crying. And then, like, the teacher's like, what do I do? Like, like some teachers would just, like, turn, a blind eye to it and not do anything. Some teachers would give the cards back. And then it's like, what, like, it's like the teacher doesn't know what to do. The kids are upset. But, yeah, like, I would do that. Crazy Bones. I don't know if you guys remember Crazy Bones. We'd have, like, battles for Crazy Bones. You'd line them up. And the goal of that was you flick them and you knock the other person's Crazy Bones over until all theirs were knocked over, and then you would win, right? But like me as a kid, I had like all the Crazy Bones. I had some like awesome Crazy Bones, some rare ones and stuff. You'd get them in packs. And anyway, I had them as a kid, and like we set up teams, but like for myself, I put up, it was like my stuff was up for grabs. So it wasn't the best move, but as a kid, you just do whatever. So I was like myself and like 2 other teammates, and then another team and 2 other teammates. And it was like whoever won, each teammate got to get a Crazy Bone. So we lost, and they went through and picked but of course they picked the rarest ones. And then the one kid felt bad, and he picked the one that was like super common. But it goes back to like, that kind of stuff as kids. Like you would battle for it and you would lose and you'd have to give up your stuff. And it just got to the point where they banned it all because it was just too much. Like there's too much kids getting upset and everything. But that was the one I remember vividly. And getting cards stolen. Yeah, I used to my cards, like I used to get cards stolen as a kid. I remember one time they had my binder and they all sat in like a circle, so I couldn't see. Like, they were looking at the binder and it was like, all around it. But what they were doing is they were looking through it and they were, taking the cards and then they like pocketing some of the hollows and stuff. So I'd get my binder back and like, I was myself 1 against like 4. Right. And it would be like, well, my cards are gone. Like, where'd they go? And then, it's like, oh, they weren't there. And it's like, well, they were there when I gave you my binder. Obviously, as a kid, though, it's like, what do you do? But yeah, I definitely had cards stolen. Definitely lost cards in battle, lost other collectibles in battles. Like, that was just like the name of the game back in the day. And that's why they had to ban it all. But yeah, fun times. So, next question is going to be from, okay. We got a question from, here we go. Steve E. is a grading question. Getting back into Pokemon is the goal. And the question is, hey, Rev, love the channel. I found all my Pokemon cards from my collection as a kid. We're going back to the kid days now again. They're not in the best condition, maybe 5 to 6. Is it worth getting them graded? Well, let's see what we got. Whoa. That is... Look at that. That is a sight to see. Look at... We got... Holy cow. We got to zoom in here. We got to zoom in. Look at this. We got Blastoise, 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 Blastoise. Wow. So the one thing I'm curious is if you have any errors on your Blastoise. Next time you're here, send a close-up of all your Blastoise if you don't know what to look for with the errors. But sometimes there's a no stage error, there's a red dot errors that you can find, different things. We got a lot of Blastoise. You must have collected a lot as a kid. A lot of Venusaur. Well, this Blastoise is a base 2. This is a base 2 Venusaur. We got a base set Venusaur, another one. Shadowless first edition Machamp. We got a ton of different Zapdos, Ninetales, Clefairy. Got a lot of stuff here. A lot of it's hollow. I mean, nowadays, it's really worth grading any Wizards of the Coast hollow, really, at almost any grade at this point. If you're comparing it to like the cost of grading to like what you could get for it, really you can't go wrong. When you get into the non-hollows though, not so much. It really depends on what the card will grade and if it's first edition or not. Awesome collection though. That is really cool. What do you guys think of that? That is like an entire bed filled with Wizards of the Coast cards. Thanks for sharing that. Best of luck with your whatever you decide to do. But yeah, overall, definitely the hollows. Rock, my day's going well. How about you? Hope everybody's having a good time. Want to welcome also, we have a new member of the PokeCave. So I want to welcome IE PokeBear to the PokeCave membership Explorer tier. Get the welcome right there for you.
Welcome to the PokeCave.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being a part of the PokeCave and for sticking around. Grade all those, everyone's saying. Absolutely. College tuition on a bed. It says one and only. That is an awesome collection for sure. Definitely. All right. Let's move on to the next question here. We have coming up Rav with the market question. The goal is to be as amazing as PokeRev. You guys are too kind to me. You guys are too kind to me. The question is, hey, PokeRev, a couple years ago, base set boxes were only like $1,000. Now they're like $20,000. Why have they gotten so expensive so quickly? Thanks. So, so if you're talking about base unlimited, 2 years ago, yeah, they're probably about 3,000, maybe, if I recall. Maybe about that. And now I think that a couple have sold for 12,000, I believe. So from what I've heard anyway, I'll have to double check that. But yeah, so I mean, you're on track, right, with the pricing. You're just off a little bit, yeah. But I mean, we could dive into it right now, and basically it just comes down to like one of my previous questions that I answered was like base set, right? That's the set that a lot of people are jumping in from, even like, even people that have never touched Pokemon. A lot of things that people go into is like the first original set, and that's base set. And more attainable is base unlimited, and that's the most common and pretty much the most popular. But there is first edition base, but at this point it's like you can't buy first edition base boxes. I mean, you can, but it's just so limited. You'd have to spend over $100,000 probably for a first edition base on booster box. Then there's green wing boxes as well, which are pretty popular, but then base unlimited, I mean, that's where it's at. So with supply demand, right? So many people are jumping in, so many more people want to grab base set, base booster boxes. That's just what it is. So we can actually check out the market on those and see what's happening right now. I haven't checked on these probably in like a month or so, but we got base unlimited if I could spell box. And then let me put Pokemon. So Pokemon. Well, some people actually don't put Pokemon, so let me take that out. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over the screen here. We're going to go to this, and we're going to take a look. So base unlimited booster box, right? So first of all, I'm just going to put a minimum price of just so I weed out some of the random stuff that's going to pop up. Okay. So what we do is we go on here. First, I want to see what the cheapest one is available. So you are right. There's most of them, the cheapest are around, 15. There's a bunch at 20, but that's not the actual market price on them yet. I mean, I could see it getting there eventually, but so we have a green wing. Right now, there's only 9 boxes listed that I see. Well, there's actually another one right here. It's on auction. 8,200. It's okay. So we do have more, but some of them, this person put base set unlimited. They didn't put box. See that's what, it's hard to narrow things down. This person, let me put, I guess I take box out and see what happens. That's probably not going to do it though. Then I'm going to get all kinds of stuff. All right. So we got 19,000 buy it now. That's a green wing. We got 20,000 best offer, 19,000 best offer green wing, 20,000 best offer green wing. We do have a 15,000 or best offer one up. We do have another one up on auction at 8,200. It's still got 5 days left though. I'll throw that on the watch list so we can see what happens with that. We got another one, 14,500 or best offer. So I think right now the cheapest one that you could get, there's another one for 15,000 best offer. A lot of these aren't showing up in the main results for some reason. I don't know why. Is it because maybe because I put unlimited. Probably because I put unlimited in the title. So that's why I say when you search for things, you got to be careful what exact words you put in, because you can take out a lot of results. So like, see, now I just changed it to base box and now I get so many more results here. So let me do it like this. Let me go to, doesn't let me click that for some reason. Let me do lowest price so we can see what the cheapest base unlimited booster box is up for right now. This one's Spanish. So there's another one up on auction at $10,000, but there's still 3 days left. That one's not English. So the cheapest buy it now would be this one for $14,000 or best offer, right? But then if we go to sold, and we can do what the ended recently. So the most recent one sold on eBay was on the 16th of August for 13,000 really, or best offer. So let's see what it actually went for under the best offer. So what we're going to do is go to watch count. We're going to paste in the item number. I honestly think they've been going for around 12 from what I've heard. I haven't checked though in a while. So yeah, I mean 11,400 on that one. And then where'd that go? We had another one that sold for 12,000 best offer. These are all sold within the last like 3 days, a lot of these. So, I mean, that's the thing, right? Is you don't look at just the list price. So, I mean, I'm assuming between 11 and 12,000 is probably what they're going for right now. Last time I checked, they were around 10,000. So that's the thing, though. Just going back to your question, is the supply, demand, and just that's one of that's the first set in English. So people are going for that. People really go for first sets of a lot of things, and collectibles just as a whole. People go for the first series, the first of this, the first of that. Like that's like just what people gravitate towards a lot of times, especially people that have never collected something in particular. But I do see it continuing the trend for the foreseeable future, in my opinion, of course. And yeah, I also want to welcome, we got another member here. D. Welcome to the PokeCave Adventure membership. Make sure you check out the community tab for information on how to jump into the members exclusive opening that is at the end of this month and every month after that. So, as well as all the other perks that you get. So, welcome to the PokeCave.
Welcome to the PokeCave.
All right, so I think we got time for a handful more questions here. Let's see what else we got. All right. Got a question from Michael. This is a buying and selling question. I got a sealed Hidden Fates Elite Trainer box. Bought it for $40 a year ago, and now it's going for about $200 to $250. Best to hold on to it for a while longer or not? That's a good question. So Hidden Fates, the ETBs have that stained glass Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno. You get all those Hidden Fates packs in there. It's from the first print run. It's a limited print of that particular box. I'd hang on to it. That's my personal opinion. I only have one. I just have one, but I think they're cool. They look amazing. I'm looking over there because I have one over there somewhere, but they look really cool. They got that really awesome promo card. You get all those Hidden Fates packs in there. You got, it's just a product that was printed just enough, not really enough at all, but not enough, and that's why you're seeing the prices on those. Even though, you know, there's Hidden Fates being reprinted, the tins and all that, people like that really cool box, right? Because that's the only way you get a box of Hidden Fates. I mean, you can get those Mew and Mewtwo pin things, but besides that, the tin boxes, and that's it. So really, that's pretty collectible, and I'd hang on to it personally. I mean, I plan on hanging on to mine, so I would hang on to it. Most likely would be the best option on that. All right. Let's see what we have as the next question. So, let's see what we got here. We got Oliver with the market question. To collect all the gold stars is the goal. That's an awesome goal. The question is, I would love to hear about gold star markets from the EX era. Thanks and much love. All right, so gold stars, if you guys don't know, from the EX era are the highest rarity or the highest tier of cards that you could pull from that specific era. So if we go, first of all, and we look at gold stars over time, they've just grown so much in value because of the fact that they're super, super hard to find. But one thing that was brought to my attention, so one of the websites, let me see if I can pull it up here because this was pretty interesting. I was offered this set here, and I think it's pretty interesting to pull this up because I don't think I've ever seen a complete set before quite like this. So let me go here. All right, so where am I at? All right, DA Card World. So as you guys know, DA Card World, it's one of those websites where you can buy, you know, collectibles and things like that. But this one was brought to my attention probably a week ago. So I know Joe here. So he actually, shout out to Joe. He sent me this listing and he was like, hey, we got this in. If you want to make an offer on it, feel free. So just to be able to see this all on one screen is really awesome. I actually want to save this photo. Let's save that. I think it's a cool photo just to have, like, just to see them all next to each other like that, all graded in a PSA 10. So these are the gold stars. This is every single gold star down to like the pop series ones. You got the evolutions. I mean, just seeing those all next to each other is just really cool. You guys can zoom in on that. Nope, doesn't let me. But yeah, you got, you know, Espeon and Umbreon right here, Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon. You got Mew. You got Charizard. That's a big one. The most expensive one is going to be a Rayquaza. But you have all of these legendary dogs. You got, you know, the starters. You got Regirock. All of these gold star cards in one single lot. And actually, I can zoom in because there's more photos here. So just take a moment to just kind of enjoy these. They're super difficult to find. First of all, you can't even really pull them nowadays because the thing is they're like secret rares essentially because they're not guaranteed in a booster box. I believe it's like 1 in every 2 booster boxes at the most you're going to pull something like this. So you can open up an entire booster box and not pull a single one of these. And even if you pull one, you know, is it going to come back a 10? Is it going to come back a 9? Or what is it going to grade on top of that? So it's becoming more difficult to find these over time because you can't, like, even if we go back like a year or two, it's way easier to just open up EX era stuff and just like go through and try to pull these types of cards. But as the prices increase, it becomes more difficult to even go through and rationalize opening up something like that. So what you're left with is whatever exists out there in the world that has already been opened up over time. So that's the thing with these, and that's the thing with a lot of stuff, even Wizards of the Coast stuff and the older and more expensive things. So here's all the cards. You got the Pikachu, Mewtwo from Holland Phantoms. I love that set. The Gyarados. That's an awesome card as well. And I'm not saying this is like the market price on these at all. I'm just saying like this listing exists. So, and that's all those. You know, I'm assuming he'd take offers on it. But just to put it out there, this is the entire set. And again, EX era. The prices themselves, if you look at each card, you'll see the values on them. So I just think, Gold Stars are the top of the top from the EX era. Whether they're going to go up in value or not over time, that's, we're going to see what happens, basically. We're going to see what happens. But yeah. Yeah. So let's move on here to our next question on the form. Let me switch over. All right. Let's see what we got next. Sorry, guys. There's probably still at least like 100 questions that I'm not going to get to today. So I apologize, but doing the best I can here for you guys. So, Joe C. with the buying and selling question. The goal is to gain knowledge in buying and selling. The question is, being somewhat new to collecting and selling cards, I struggle with wanting to just keep most of the cards. I'd like to start selling more. Do you have any advice for letting go of cards to sell? So, that's a good thing for many reasons. So number one, it means that you truly, you enjoy the cards, you enjoy the artworks, you're really, you're passionate about it, and you like having them, right? You love having them, and if you sell them, am I going to get them back? And if I can get them back, what am I going to have to pay to get them back? So it's something that all collectors struggle with, so you're not alone. How to rationalize selling something versus keeping it in your collection. The way I do it is I just think to myself, am I going to ever want to own this again? And if the answer is yes, probably not sell it. Probably not sell it, because down the road, I can't tell you guys how many things I've sold and then I've had to acquire down the road for, the new price on that item and just paid it to be able to get it back in the collection from when I sold something like that. A classic example is that Crystal Pokemon game that I talked to you guys about way earlier in this live. Was I sold that one like probably 4 years ago, and like now to get that back, it's it's thousands of dollars for a sealed crystal, and mine was mint condition, so it's like to get a mint condition as well on top of that. So just think about it: is it something that you're going to want to get one day in the future, and you see yourself wanting it again? If that's the answer, then keep it. If it's something where you think you'll be all right without it, it's something that you think you can. You'll be all right without, then maybe consider selling it. And then at the same time, you can use that money to fund something else that you'd want in your collection that you maybe don't have yet, right? But it's tough. Even with having that thinking process, it's still tough. Because then you think like, well, am I going to want this? Am I going to want to keep this? Do I, what am I, like, am I going to want this next year? Am I going to be mad at myself for selling it? And then that's just the thing you have to try to answer. And another thing is, do you need the money, right? Are you all right? Like, if it's something where, you could do something with that money that'll help you out even more, then that's another reason to maybe sell it or to keep it. So let's see what we have as the next question on here. I'm just going to double check the chat, make sure everybody's good, make sure I didn't miss anything. I do have all right, so we have a super chat actually from James R. Hey Rev, I collect sealed booster boxes. I just received a sealed Unbroken Bonds booster box, but it has a circle tear in the wrap. Will this decrease the value? So for more modern stuff, people aren't as super concerned about having like absolutely flawless boxes because of how many are out there, and a lot of people do plan on opening them and stuff like that. But as you get into more, let me put it this way, as you get into more expensive stuff, older stuff, like the more the product costs, the more limited it is, the more of an impact that's going to have on that actual product. So with something like Unbroken Bonds, I mean, yeah, it's all relative. I could check to see what Unbroken Bonds are actually going for right now. I'm not even sure what the actual market price is on them at the moment. So like a couple hundred, maybe like 225, I believe. Let me see. Let me jump back on here. Like 220. Yeah, so they're about 200 to 225 or so, something like that. So with something like that, I wouldn't really be super concerned about it. I mean, if it is going to have affect the value of it, it'll be a really not super significant amount, to be honest with you. But yeah, if that was like on something that was like a, like a $2,000 box, then I would be having a different story with, what I think it would affect the value on it. In just terms of condition, really, it's just the more expensive the item is, the older it is, the more of an impact it's going to have on the actual value of it. But at the current market, I don't really see it being too much of an impact at all. Maybe $10, just like a ballpark, something like that. Nothing too crazy though, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. If it is something that you were looking to hold on to for 10, 20, 30 years, then maybe consider getting another one that's more of like a super mint condition. Because if it's not saying that they're going to be worth this, I'm just saying if in 10 years they're $1,000 a booster box, then that's when you start getting into something that's rare, harder to find, and then somebody's spending $1,000. It's like they're going to want something that's the best condition that they can find. So, and then super chat from DC. Hey sir, thanks for commenting on my box. I'm sad. So I'm not sure exactly. Sorry, I don't know which box you were referring to. But I'm sorry if I said something that wasn't the best of news to something that you have or sold or purchased. But yeah, thanks for being here. So let's see what we got coming up next on the form here. We got so Baco has got a buying and selling question. The goal is to find the best place to research the value of older cards. The question is, where's the best place to look up prices of older cards? I have a Mew EX from Legend Maker, and I'm wondering where's the best place to research the value of it. So there's a couple places you can go for that. And here we have the Mew on screen here. Let me just switch over. So there it is, Mew EX. So we can kind of help you out with this one. So the front's looking pretty solid in terms of like the centering. But it's hard to tell when you got it in a top loader and then in a sleeve as well. So I know you're not looking at me to give you the exact condition on this card, but I do see some scratches and stuff like that. So we're assuming that this is like an 8 or a 9 based on the back and the front. I mean, probably a solid 9, honestly, depending on how much scratching it has. So really what you can do, one of the places you could check out is PokemonPrice.com, which I do bring up quite often here. So Pokemon Price, and you can go to Legend Maker, right? So we just search Legend Maker right here, and then we can go on and we can look at Mew. So we got Mew. You got the Mew. Oh wait, I think of the Mew EX, right? Mew EX. And then we can go here and we can kind of see, this is going to give you pricing data based off of the PSA grade. So like, if we go here and we look at, there's 10, the PSA 10s, there's 49 that exist. There's 67 9s, 27 8s. So we look at what's sold, right? It's not like it's not really an easy card to find because there's not like a ton of different sold listings here. But we can see for a 9, one sold in March for 200, one sold in June for almost 200. So, you can kind of get into a ballpark, base it off of what you think the card will grade, and then what the market's doing. And then the other thing you can do that's always a safe bet is just to go on here. Let's do like PSA 9 Mew EX Legend Maker. And then we can kind of check it out. So we got a 9 up for 300. It actually sold. So when did that sell? I actually sold the other day. So that didn't get updated on the website. So I would say a safe bet is probably between like 250 to 300 for this card in a 9. If you do have a 9, if you have an 8, maybe half of that, depends on the market, right? So that's kind of what you can do. And you want to go to sold listings. Don't base it just off of what's listed. Base it off of what's sold. So we saw this one sold, and that's the most up-to-date pricing. Was if somebody decides, they spent 300 on it. So, that, are these less than 300? Let me double check. Maybe oh wait, no, that's the holo. Okay, that's the EX. And then these are the holos. So there's no EXs listed. But yeah, probably about 300 on that if it's a 9. That's how you can go about it. Just to use a couple of different methods there. Assess what you think the card would grade. Check Pokemon Price, see what the recent sold listings are, and then go to eBay, see what's available, and see what was listed. And then you can kind of base it off of that. But I would say if your card is a 9, I would probably price it about 250 to 300-ish as a value for that. If it's an 8, you know, you can also go here and you can see what the 8 price would be. So you just put, it's just, you know, you just go in on eBay and search. So any 8s listed, or any sold. This one sold a while ago. That's a hollow, or no, it's the EX. But yeah, base it off of what's listed and what's been sold and what you think your card, you know, actually would attain, right? But yeah, guys, I think I am probably going to wrap it up there. Let me just double check, make sure I didn't miss anybody's questions in the chat. But yeah, so I think that's going to be it, guys. We did this for about 3 hours or so. Hopefully you learned something new here. Hopefully you had a fun time hanging out here in the Poke Cave. Again, guys, if you are new here, just joining up, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we do live booster box openings every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the Poke Cave, along with a ton of other fun stuff. Saturday mornings like this one are the live Q&As. You can count on them every Saturday morning. So make sure you stick around and just join in on the Poke Cave fun. Do all kinds of stuff here, from opening packs to learning things and building a community and just having a fun time overall. I cannot thank you guys enough for hanging out here in the Poke Cave. But yeah, guys, I will catch you for tomorrow's opening. That again, it's gonna be different. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm excited for it. So I hope to see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you had a fun time again, guys. And that is gonna be it. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you on the next one.